Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Thaboxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I don't want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for pay-per-view.
My drop, I know my drop, I know my situation. I want to fight. That's my production. But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
Thaboxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we are here to discuss a little Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev numero dos. They're going back at it. This time for all the marbles, it's going to be a little more difficult this time around since both men have to prove to the world that they won, right? So both will be coming in more focused with certain things on their minds, obviously game plan. And this is the fight that we'll be dissecting this week. This is going to be your weekend preview along with the undercard. Guillermo Rigondeaux is back in action, as well as the AB, Adrien Broner, about billions, taking on Mikey Garcia. Fight landing in the Barclays Center. Fight fans excited, happy. Our very own Canadian Jose, very excited that this one is going to be where it's going to be so that, he can come from Canada to the States. We also have to discuss David Haye and him making some headlines as well as a bunch of other headlines out there. But first things first, man, let's get on over to the Golden State and talk to the Hipster Hunter.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
Thaboxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just hope the guy. I wish.
Thaboxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipsters here. Haters beware. Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev II. Their rematch. When I always say haters beware, I can't match the haters that Andre Ward brings to any event or any show per se. So I can't wait to delve into that. I can't wait for the callers. I can't wait for the picks, the previews, breaking down the action. Of course, Guillermo Rigondeaux, you know me. I'm the Hipster. So you know me. I love some Guillermo Rigondeaux. Moises Flores, definitely a tough competitor. Definitely top 10 worthy. Isn't going to be enough for Guillermo Rigondeaux. Is going to give him any tests. We obviously going to break that down as well. Mikey Garcia versus Adrien Broner tickets are also available in terms of the retail price. We're going to delve into that as well. So can't wait to chop it up with you, Nest, and the callers.
Definitely, man. Very excited to be talking about Rigondeaux, man. He's a guy that doesn't get a lot of notice, recognition, but definitely one that the fight fans are interested in. So we'll discuss him. And Adrien Broner already makes good headlines. Mikey Garcia being a very good test for Broner. So people are definitely excited about that fight for sure, as well as so many other things, man. But I can't wait to really get into it. Where do we start? Do we go with the main event, or do you want to start with the hardcore's delight with Guillermo Rigondeaux and Miguel Flores? Because it takes a hardcore to really know about this fight. Obviously, we know Guillermo, but not many know Moises Flores. You got to be a super duper hardcore. If people think Rigondeaux isn't popular, then I wonder what they're calling Flores these days.
Well, like Guillermo Rigondeaux is unpopular due to maybe his style of fighting. Flores is unknown. Like those are two very different things. To be unpopular is very different than to be unknown. Yeah, we can start from that fight if you want, or I think obviously that's probably the fight I'm most looking forward to because I think Guillermo Rigondeaux is one of those once in a lifetime talents. He's up there with what we're going to see from Lomachenko throughout his career, what we're going to see through Crawford throughout his career. Whoever's going to win out of the Thurman Spence fight, we're going to see some greatness out of them. And Guillermo Rigondeaux has that talent, so I always love seeing him box. What he did to Nonito Donaire, while is hated on, was impressive from a boxing standpoint. And then you look at Moises Flores, who has beat guys like Oscar Escudon, who has beat some really top quality competition in that division. So I think this is going to be an excellent matchup. I think that Guillermo Rigondeaux is going to be able to counter Moises Flores on a lot of his shots. Moises Flores is a typical machismo type boxer. He likes to put his head in on his opponent's chest, likes to throw those combination punches. He likes his opponent to be there in front of him. Guillermo Rigondeaux is not going to be in front of him. Guillermo Rigondeaux is going to work angles or work that southpaw left hand. This is going to be, I think, a true test of Guillermo Rigondeaux's power because he's sort of feasted on, I would say, lower competition recently and has looked good due to those knockouts. Can you knock out a guy like Moises Flores, who will give him the opportunity to set up those knockout blows, but is so tough and is so durable? So I can't wait to see that. Plus, I think Flores is probably a little bit bigger than Guillermo Rigondeaux, so that size factor, I like to see that as well. But it's going to be a good co-main event. I know people are going to hate on it. I know the casuals may not like it, but any sort of hardcore boxing fan should love this fight. It's going to be entertaining for boxing fans.
Now, what does this fight do for Rigondeaux's career? Like I said, I mean, I'm a hardcore. I don't remember Moises Flores. I think I've seen one fight of him. Maybe he was on a PBC fight, I believe, right? Versus somebody like Chucky, maybe the nickname for him. I'm not even sure. But that division that Rigo's in, it seems a bit empty, man. I don't know any numbers. It doesn't excite me. As a casual fan of this division, what should I be excited for? Like, what is Rigondeaux's matchup? I mean, so we're so quick to throw other names like Lomachenko, but that's a different division altogether.
Yeah, it's multiple different divisions altogether. Guillermo Rigondeaux, in my opinion, should either hope for either a lower weight guy like a Yamanaka or somebody along those lines to move up, or wait for maybe a guy like a Jesse Magdaleno. Jesse Magdaleno could become big. He could be somebody to look forward to one day. Again, these are all names that are not stars. There's no stars in those divisions. So Guillermo Rigondeaux is never going to be a star. Are there names that he could beat to legitimize his legacy? Absolutely. I think some of those guys are a little bit young right now, and they need some more fights until they get to Guillermo Rigondeaux. But then again, Guillermo Rigondeaux is pretty old, so it's sort of it's working against the time right now. So I don't know if there's one name to give you, Ness, or to any fan that's going to say this is the guy that if Guillermo Rigondeaux beats, proves what he is, proves all the hype correct. There's no one in those divisions right now.
Well, that sucks because he consistently needs that validation from the public. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves. But speaking of big names, even though they're not on his division, they will be on this show later on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll have HBO's own Harold Lederman. Okay, Jim. We'll also have Linnell K.O. Bellows, part of the Mayweather promotion stable, floating in between super middleweight and light heavyweight. So we can definitely ask him some Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev questions, get his take on that fight since he's in or around that division. But I know that he's probably not the ideal person to talk to about Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. So, Matt, we might as well just get John David Jackson on today and talk a little bit about Sergey Kovalev and his game plan. And that's what Monster Peace has done. Those are your three guests for today. John David Jackson, obviously not 100% confirmed, being as though that he is in Las Vegas being prepared for this fight. But let's see what Monster Piece can make available for you guys. But going back to Rigondeaux, yeah, it kind of sucks. There's no one there. You know, we've been talking about that Nonito win for so long, and so many other people have come along and done similar, not necessarily exactly what Rigondeaux did, but similar. And it's time that he finds a dance partner that we care about, similar to the main event. But I don't know if care about is the right word to use for this particular buildup in this second fight. It seems like there's been less fandom than the first time around, and you would think that there would be more, being as though both sides have been able to build up, and you know, they have obviously evidence. Each side has evidence to prove that the other guy won. Did Mayweather, McGregor, and the announcement, the confirmation, did that steal a little bit of this fight week's thunder, maybe?
Yes and no. Whatever thunder, using your word, that this fight had, Andre Ward versus Kovalev II, whatever thunder it had is obviously taken away by the news of Mayweather McGregor, just because that overshadows almost everything in sports right now. You can make an argument that announcement overshadows this NBA Finals win by the Golden State Warriors against LeBron James and Cavaliers, which is insane to think about, but that's a possibility. So, of course, it's overshadowed by it. It's stealing its thunder. But then again, it's a fight that, like you said, there wasn't a lot of caring about. I think a lot of the fandom is kind of burnt out from the negativity of this matchup. Ward fans, Kovalev fans, and Ward haters and Kovalev haters, like the negativity that's filled social media, that's filled boxing forums, that's filled all these platforms due to this matchup, I think has sort of burnt out the audience for this fight. That we're ready for it to be over because we're ready for this hostility, this negativity, and boxing really to be over. You know, when we get fights like Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko, there was no negativity with that fight. And that's one of the greatest fights of the year, if not the greatest fight of the year so far. And that was a very positive, uplifting moment for the sport. Both guys were positive in it. And then we get this fight, which I think is the greatest antithesis to Klitschko and Joshua. So it's just weird. I really don't know what to take, what take I should have with this matchup and how and why the fans don't care about it. But they don't care about it. It's obvious. It's evident. I think this may do actually worse pay-per-view than the first matchup.
Are you buying this? I mean, you know, using our rating system, what are you going to do? Are you going to order this one? Are you going to get together with some of the West Coast guys? Is this a DVR? Obviously, it's not. We're going to be doing a bunch of immediate shit probably. But
yeah, we're obviously doing a live chat. So me personally, you know, I'm probably going to buy the pay-per-view just to have the HD and not worry about it. But if I don't have this job, if I'm just a fan of the sport with the TBV West Coast fandom, I would probably get a stream, to be honest, to be 100% honest. You know, in today's age, you know, we can do that very easily. A bunch of us are millennials. Like, we can do it. So I would highly doubt that we buy this pay-per-view, to be 100% honest.
Now, why is that so, right? I mean, here we are talking about two guys, arguably both #1 pound for pound due to the controversy in the first fight. Why is it that we have to convince fight fans to watch this particular fight?
Because I think neither guy has done a great job of making us care about them individually. You know, the reason why we care, and obviously, you know, our listeners don't want us to bring up Mayweather McGregor all the time, but the reason people care about that matchup is because we care, for whatever reason, either good or bad, we care so much about those two individuals. And for some reason, for this fight, people don't care. People don't care about Andre Ward by himself. People really don't care about Sergey Kovalev by himself. I'm going to be honest.
Are they going to care more if the winner does go on to unify with Adonis Stevenson? I seen Adonis Stevenson take to his social media, say that he want the winner and he added Showtime and I think maybe hashtag him in boxing. But at this point, if he pushes, I feel strongly that he'll get what he wants. Now, But is that the fight to make the division, I don't know, stand up again? I don't even know. I mean, you would figure that these two guys were big enough. Russia versus U.S., Olympian, I don't know. Why didn't this sell? It seems to have a good storyline.
Answer me this question. Is Andre Ward charismatic? Yes or no?
I mean, charismatic. I think so. He comes off.
It's okay.
He comes off. I think so. He comes off.
Sergey Kovalev, is he charismatic?
I think that they both have something about them. With Kovalev, you have that age-old typical Russian that plays the villain in this particular movie.
Okay, I'm not disputing those facts. I think both guys do have a level of charisma. Now, are both guys getting exposure in mainstream media? Have you seen them get exposure in mainstream media?
But is that the element that's missing? Is that why this hasn't crossed over to 300,000?
There's a reason why, and I hate to bring up the UFC, but there's a reason why we saw Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor do the late night tour when they were starting to get really big. They were going on, I think it was Lederman at the time, Jimmy Fallon. They were going on all these guys, Jimmy Kimmel. They were going on all the late night shows and all these mainstream outlets of media. And that helped. That made their brand seem more validated, especially because combat sports. You got to think about it this way. Combat sports does not have validation in today's U.S. climate. And to get that validation is through mainstream media support. That's just the unfortunate reality of the situation. So I don't see Andre Ward going on Good Morning America. I don't see Kovalev going on ESPN consistently. I don't see either of these guys really having the exposure of the mainstream media. They have tons of exposure in the boxing media. Boxing heads love these guys. They do. We feel a certain way about this fight. I do. You do. Everybody that calls in is going to feel a certain way about this fight. But we are the demographic that you don't look for to make fights big, to make guys stars, because we're already bought in because of boxing. Period. And I think mainstream media exposure helps that. And for some reason, I don't know why, both these guys do not have that.
It's unfortunate. Andre Ward comes off as wholesome enough during his 24/7s. He's a family guy. They definitely play that up. They play the golden boy. He has the Olympic gold, perfect role model, father figure. I can't for the life of me understand why this entire fight is difficult to sell. It just seems like, isn't the Russian versus American like the age-old theme? Didn't fucking even Superman use that? Like,
you can even argue that it's today's theme of today's political climate. I know you're not big on politics, but Russia versus the U.S. is taking over the U.S. political world right now. So I think it was an easy sell, but we there's headlines of Andre Ward saying that he does not want to big up that promotional aspect or that storyline for whatever reason. And I don't really blame him, to be honest. Because, again, you want this fight to be big, and I want this fight to be big, and we all want this fight to be big because we know how important this fight is to boxing overall and to pound for pound, right? Everyone that listens to the show knows how important this fight is. And we want everyone else to be in the know. Like, hey, you guys should all know how big this fight is. You all think Mayweather McGregor is big. It's not big. You all think Canelo Triple G is big. That is big, but this is also big. Got to pay attention to this too. And for some reason, they don't. And again, I just think that for whatever reason that these guys do not get a chance to display their charisma that they naturally have. I think it's due to their own reason, their own choice. I think neither guy wants to be a star, and it's hard to make somebody a star. That's a very natural process to stardom.
Now, for whatever reason, let's say that Kovalev wins. Does then the rubber match make them a star? Does the 3-fight trilogy package embed their name in history? Like, I mean, what's it going to take for these poor guys?
Well, you're asking two different questions. You're asking embed their names in history. That might already be a fact. To make them stars,
wait a minute. I mean it more along the lines of like the way you think of Eric Morales, Manny Pacquiao, or Marquez Pacquiao, or Barrera.
It won't be thought of ever in those terms because those fights were just great fights. These fights were.
Shout out to Igloo cleaning up the chat over there.
Yeah, shout out to you, man.
We had the knight on that live chat. Knighted Igloo over there. He's the knight now.
But I think that when we talk about great fighters, there's a lot of great fighters that were not big. Look at Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker was one of the best boxers of his era, and he wasn't a star, I would say, right? I think we're all in agreement.
I don't know, Matt, because look, I'm no historian, and I was pretty young when Pernell was fighting, and I knew him back then. Like, I know the name Pernell Whitaker. I remember that style. Like, watching, that's why I was one of the first ones to say, like, oh, wow, he reminds me of young Pernell when Lubin dropped down like that, because Pernell would bend at the waist so much.
So using you as a reference, because you say that you were young.
I'm just saying. I don't think that Pernell was as unpopular as you think, because for me to be a kid with back then no internet, no nothing, and know that name somehow.
Again, very quickly, back to that word unpopular. I think Kovalev is a little bit unknown. Ward is unpopular. Like, Ward is known in a way, even to maybe non-boxing fans or casual fans, because he shows up at like Warriors games. He's shown up at big sporting events that are outside boxing, that transcend boxing. So he may have a little more cachet, but again, casuals a lot of times dictate their own opinions off of hardcore's opinions. It's not constant, but that is a factor. So when we have a lot of hardcore fans, for whatever reason, hating Andre Ward and making fun of him, calling himself the son of God as his nickname and SOG and all that stuff, that you have this large group of haters that you get a lot of casuals being maybe turned off by that, turned off by the fight, by him, by that brand, because they go, why am I going to be invested in someone that's hated by his own community? Am I wrong?
I don't know. I think the best thing.
Let's be honest. Do you think there are more Andre Ward haters than there are Andre Ward fans?
I think that there's an equal amount of both.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I look at our film study, and there's an equal amount of people that hate what we did and an equal amount that enjoyed. Well, if not more. I mean, if you base it off thumbs up and down, right? So I just know. I think that they're there the same way that Triple G's fan base is there. That negative and that positive side, but they just haven't transcended. He hasn't done what he needed to do to cross over that 170. And that's my question to you. What do these two gentlemen have to do to cross over?
Man, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of help too. It's going to be something that's outside of their control. Like if a Jay-Z, and I've talked about this a lot on the show, if a Jay-Z who owns Rock Nation started promoting he himself promoting on his own social media accounts, his own activity, Andre Ward, that would do insane wonders for Andre Ward's brand and these pay-per-view numbers. I truly think that
is what Mayweather has down packed. He's learned how to utilize social media in 100%. A positive. He's done it for a lot of his fighters. He somehow influences his, fandom to rub off on his proteges and stablemates. I was watching a live stream today on Instagram from Gravanta Davis that had almost 700 live people. That's impressive. That's impressive. I don't know. I don't know what's it going to take, but I'll tell you one particular fight that is not going to need any help from the fans. yet they will be receiving plenty of
Your personal fight of the year.
I don't know if this is my fight of the year. This is definitely one of the better fights that they have made. This is an interesting, very intriguing fight. I want to be as confident as most in who they think will be the winner, but I'm just excited to see it play out. Mikey Garcia, Adrien Broner is going to be here in the Brooklyn Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It's going to take place July 29th, marking 2017, really cementing it as one of the best years in boxing history. And I want to go on the record and say, at least in the last 20, bro, for sure the last 10, this is one of the best years I've ever seen. Mikey Garcia and Adrien Broner. It's funny because the way this thing is floating, you don't know who's the A side here. You know, as an age-old fan like yourself and myself, you want to automatically believe that this is Adrien Broner being served up, maybe, I don't know, served up really, right? You're looking at Mikey Garcia, a more disciplined fighter, clean cut, the good guy, Mexican, what networks definitely appreciate, you know? And then you have Adrien Broner, the wild, kind of keeps his name in the headlines, always in the media. But you can't count him out. You can't count out the fact that he moved up to 47 and he still was able to drop Porter at 47. He was still able to bang with Maidana and earn his respect. You know, again, and this is more of an announcement of where the fight is taking place than it is a breakdown, but it is just that type of fight. And that's what I don't understand about the main event in Saturday night's fight. It should feel the same way. It should feel like two guys that are destined to put up a good fight because of the skill level and who they are in that division, or who they could be in that division in the case of Mikey and Broner. But it just doesn't feel that way. Is it because in Broner we have that sense of vulnerability, or we have that sense of that he's a bit lackadaisical, and we know that we might get a slight ass whooping, or that a guy like Mikey would take advantage, and in the Ward Kovalev there is none of that? Both of these guys are too sharp, or so we think, because in the first fight, now the storyline is that Kovalev overworked or outtried. I don't know, but I don't
think it has anything to do with that. I just think Broner is simply just a way bigger star than all these guys we're talking about. You bring up Triple G, Kovalev, Ward. Broner's bigger than all those guys combined. It's just a reality. The guy that the people that Broner surrounds himself with on a regular basis are megastars. And I'm not using that word hyperbolic. Nicki Minaj, people like that are megastars, where she can walk around anywhere in the world and people recognize her. Broner's hanging out with people like that. That's why Broner is so big and so well known, and he gets that exposure because he has megastars around him quite consistently. Ward and Kovalev do not have that privilege.
I'll be honest, you're right, because Nikki, I called her Mickey, excuse me, and I'm thinking, I guess, a Mikey Garcia. Nah, Nikki is a megastar without a doubt. I caught wind of this Nicki Minaj challenge. Obviously, shout out to hashtags and how powerful they are. But Jesus, I knew nothing about it, but it seems like the entire world did know, and they've been doing this Nicki challenge, which we're not going to get into the details of that. We're just going to say that it's taken over, and it's such a popular fad right now. And this is a woman that Adrien Broner.
That'd be an overtime topic. That'd be a TBV overtime topic.
Yeah, we'll give them the details of it, but I mean, this is still a woman that Adrien Broner was just partying with in Miami. You know, that the residual effects of that. And another overtime topic would be when Meek Mill had a relationship with her. Now, all of a sudden, he has like 10 million followers as a rapper. It's kind of unheard of, you know what I mean? But because he was her boyfriend, you know, that shit rubbed off. Really quick before we move on, I want to shout out Mosquito and obviously Igloo. They both did a live chat donation. And, I would just want to thank you guys. Without you and our Patreons, we just, wouldn't be here. Don't forget to drop us a 5-star review if you want to. Let the world know just how good you think this podcast is, because remember, that's what we are first, a podcast. Head on over to iTunes and subscribe there to always get that feed. David Haye, back in the news. Is the Achilles healed? Did he go with Ishmael Salas? Why are we talking about David Haye today? Hippity hipster.
Oh, he was fined 25,000 pounds. Technically, over there it's pounds. For his pre-fight antics with Tony Bellew. And I just think that this is just a further chink in the puzzle, or further piece in the puzzle, I should say, of the rematch of David Haye and Tony Bellew happening in December or November, which Eddie Hearn has alluded to. One, what do you think about the amount, 25,000 pounds for the pre-fight antics with Tony Bellew, which I didn't think was that egregious. I didn't think that those were that awful, to be honest. And then, do you think this is a further hype or build-up that can be used for the rematch?
You're not gonna like it. I'm gonna just say this. I don't really care. Maybe I do if it were over here, because it seems like we do need something as strict as the boxing. What is it? The BBC of
the British Board of Boxing Control.
Yeah. I want to say that America needs something as strict as them to kind of get things in order over here and set a precedent. But at the same time, these guys overdo it. We're talking about him being fined for cursing. This is boxing. We had a former dude. Wait, did I say that wrong? Yeah. We had an ex-girlfriend around here that used to mention that a lot. People getting their panties in a nut, and tied up because of certain words that boxers say. But this is boxing, You don't want to come to our gym, especially not over here, if you have an issue with things boxers say. Really quick, Igloo, I don't know what it is that you're sharing. I want to go on a limb and say that you're sharing the purses for the fighters, but it doesn't show Kovalev's. But is Ward really making $6.5 million for this?
I believe that is the figure that I heard.
My poor boy Rigondeaux only 120,000. I mean, how is he surviving, this guy? That's the Latino in him, you know what I mean? We know how to survive on beans and rice. He's already out there in Miami, so he's good. He's feeling Caribbean and shit. But 120,000, and he's supposed to be the king of his division. Poor Flores about to get that ass beat for 25K. He ain't even gonna be able to buy a Camaro with that. Nothing. What can he do? He gonna go out with Hipster and get some bud. That's about it. And they didn't show Kovalev's. I don't know why, but yeah, it is.
That's weird. Yeah, that's kind of odd. I don't know why that is.
Shout out to Andre Diaconou, another guy that just did a live fight chat donation here. We definitely appreciate that. Shout out to the 230 people watching live. If you could just hit that thumbs up button and let the world know that you enjoy. If you're not mashing that blue thumbs up, it's got to be blue. If it's gray, you did it absolutely wrong. That's all I want to say. So any other headlines you want to touch on, Hippity Hip, before we open up these lines and get to
very quickly, neither of us really broke down the Ward Kovalev fight or gave our prediction.
I mean, that's the type of fight it is, right? Where you almost overlook it and you want to get to your callers. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go with Andre Ward. I think that he's going to do what he did again, a lot more efficiently, cleaner, and effectively to get a decisive decision.
Yeah, okay, I agree. If that's all your analysis, yeah, I agree with it. I think that.
I mean, what else could you say? Ward is a one-handed fighter. He may throw 7 right hands this fight and win the fight based off a jab and a left hook and a bunch of clinching. I'm just keeping it 100% G. If he goes out there and somehow knocks out Kovalev, it would be from the right hand that he hasn't thrown in 3 years, and that's why he knocked him out, because he landed a shot that no one ever seen coming, not even Kovalev.
I think with a guy like Ward, if you give him another full 12 rounds, he definitely has you figured out and would definitely win decision. I think he's just too good.
Decisively.
Too much of an analytical mind for the sport and how to negate his opponent's offense. So
they got footage now, Matt. They got footage now. I think it was easy for them to sit down in their bed and kind of dissect that and say, damn, this is what I did wrong. I mean, so does Kovalev, but who do you think has more tricks? And that could be argued because, I mean, let's be honest, Ward has that one hand. We were just watching the fight. It's very evident that he favors the left over the right.
Yeah, but Ward's minutia for the game and understanding little subtle things to do to throw off an angle that his opponent can no longer throw at him. You know, it's simple things he does in terms of foot placement, where his hands are, the way he dips his body. It's very small things he does to negate his opponent's offense, and then figure them out and work his game. I think it's going to be a lot more clinching in this fight. I think the disarray that's been alluded to and rumored in Kovalev's camp is real. I'm going to go out on a hunch and a speculation and say that the whole John David Jackson being offered a certain amount to leave his camp, John David Jackson feeling slighted for really not being the head trainer for some reason, and feeling like his voice is not the sole voice in the corner, which he even talked about on the 24/7. I think those little factors in the camp of Kovalev are going to play factors that we may not be able to quantify, but are real. So I think Kovalev's his head's not going to be 100% in this fight. I think it's going to be very emotional. I think he's going to try looking for that knockout with a single shot and just be picked apart all night. 12-round decision. I think it's probably going to be a 7-5, 8-4 decision for Andre Ward.
But people will say that you're biased, that you picked him in the first fight, that when you went back, you know, you even contemplated giving Ward the first round. So if you're not going to get any credit for your pick, is Ward going to get any credit for the win if he can win?
Never. There's no way, unless he knocks out Kovalev in devastating fashion, there's no way Andre Ward haters will turn into fans based off of this fight. And again, you know, I know the idea that stars need to be polarizing, that you need a level of hate and love. That Mayweather had hate, Muhammad Ali had hate, Mike Tyson had hate, all the McGregor has hate, all the great stars have had hate, but for some reason, Ward's hate does not translate into pay-per-view buys. Just a reality.
And just to be clear, you said that Adonis fight won't do it for him. That won't be a big.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think it will obviously further cement his Hall of Fame legacy. But I don't think it would make him into a star. No.
No. But is that fight bigger than this fight?
Oh, potentially. I don't know. It could be. But then again, I don't think it'd be marginal difference. It would be, instead of 170,000 pay-per-view buys, we're talking about 220,000 pay-per-view buys. You know, we're talking about maybe 50,000 pay-per-view buy increase, maybe. And that's being very, very positive and optimistic about that matchup. But then again, we don't know because Adonis Stevenson has no track record with pay-per-view in the U.S., I should say.
Well. As we mentioned, last night the news broke on social media, Mayweather's particularly, and then official press releases were sent out. The conference call, me and Matt partaked in the Mayweather-McGregor conference call to find out all the details. And an interesting detail, Matt, you keep laughing, but he took the fight at 54. That's strange that Mayweather didn't make McGregor come down to 47. I mean, why not get all the advantages you can, right?
True. I think that Mayweather just is so not worried about this super low risk fight. Let's just be honest.
He's a betting man, right? Do you think that within his mind and in his camp, at least, they have a round? They're going for it. Like, I mean, he could be putting a lot of money on himself at a knockout. I mean, how do you not knock out an 0-0 fighter? Should we expect a knockout? I mean, so many times we get into these Mayweather buildups and you hear people say Mayweather's going to knock him out, and time again, Mayweather doesn't knock him out. But this time is a little different. This guy's never been punched by a world-class fighter. Can we actually see a knockout at the 50-0? Could we really see a knockout?
He's been hit by world-class fighters, not hit by world-class boxers. But then again, McGregor has a known chin. He's very durable. He's never been knocked out. So I don't know. I think that it would be, if we see a knockout before round 6 by either guy, it's a surprise.
You're disrespectful, either guy. There should be no way that there's even a thought in your mind of McGregor somehow getting a stoppage.
Well, if that would happen, that's shocking. I'm not saying it's happening. You know me. I'm not going to pick McGregor. But, of course, there's a possibility. It's less than 1%.
I don't want Floyd. Listen, you get the word out to Floyd. You're closer to him than me.
Yeah.
I don't want him. I don't want him Guerreroing this fight. Don't Canelo this fight.
That's possible.
No.
It's Mayweather, man. Come on.
This is when we need the soundbite for Get Out. No. He's got to knock this motherfucker out. He's got to Victor Ortiz knock this dude out.
But time out. Back to my point. McGregor's too tough, in my opinion, to be knocked out that early. I think it's going to be one of those things where McGregor ends up being very exhausted. He's getting hit too much, and he just eventually will go down in the later rounds. I'm thinking like maybe around 8 to 10 TKO for Mayweather. That's probably going to be very likely.
Should Floyd come straight out and just like jab and body work? Like jab to create and keep distance and just rip to the body for 6 rounds?
No, why?
Why? To ensure the knockout.
Why would you be aggressive with a counter striker like McGregor?
Yo, counter striker, dude. This dude's never been in a ring.
It doesn't matter. You don't go into the real house of your opponent. You make your opponent fight on your terms, no matter what the fight is, no matter who you're fighting. Mayweather's gonna get the back flip.
Got more of a shot than anybody else.
I think Mayweather's gonna take a front step and be the aggressor in this bout consistently. Then you're delusional. That's not happening.
You know, it's funny that you went silent there because I feel like you're somehow giving McGregor more of an edge than probably anybody else. So I'm just going to get and ask my listeners. When you call in, listeners.
More than edge than anyone. No. Skip. Don't. Come on. Have you seen Skip Bayless on Twitter? Come on.
Oh, I actually did.
Come on. Don't even.
Something ridiculous.
Come on.
But who knows? You might be trying to be the Skip Bayless of TBV with some of the stuff you're saying here.
Is it wrong? Am I incorrect in the fact that McGregor has a chin? No, I'm not incorrect.
I don't know. I've never. You know, I will say this. Shout out to, I think it's Antonello or Antonachis. I know. We talked on Twitter today, and I'm sorry. You know that I'm horrible with pronunciation, but the point is, he sent me some UFC press conference of Mayweather going in on everybody. Excuse me. McGregor going in on everybody at one of those press conferences where he's just like, you should thank me, all that, type of jazz he be talking.
Yeah.
It was wonderful, though.
Of course.
It really was. I'm ready. I want to see him versus Floyd. I'm ready. In terms of build-up, I know he's going to talk a great game. You could see just with his announcement on when he took to social media, he tweeted out a picture of him facing off versus the father because he's calling Floyd Ode, which is pretty dope. Someone's being the bully on Floyd this time around. So I'm enjoying that. I'm going to go out to these sponsors. Then we're going to go out to the callers. And don't forget, we have that 8:00 guest, Harold Lederman.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Australia. Alex, what's up?
No one can stop me, really.
Oh, there's a king croc right there. This croc has enough power in his jaws to rip my ear right off.
Unique in the 6th round, in the 7th round.
You're gonna be the legend to become a legend.
Honestly, it's unbeatable.
You're gonna be the legend to become a legend.
Hey boys, great show as always. At work as always because it's morning here, but I'll be quick with my call. I think I kind of agree with Matt in a sense on that McGregor-Mayweather fight. I think, even though McGregor isn't much of a threat to Mayweather, I think he does have a bit of power in both his hands. And, he's used to a fighting style where it's smaller gloves and harder punches in that kind of sense. And it wasn't, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Diaz come down from 175 to fight McGregor? Didn't he?
No.
So he wasn't a 175 fighter. Oh, either way, he's fighting 155 pounders in small gloves. I mean, he's used to some heavy hits, and we know Mayweather hasn't gotten a knockout in a while. So, look, I think, and if Mayweather's put a bet on this, the favorite is actually Mayweather by knockouts. So if he has, I think he'll just play it safe and collect some more money on himself by decision. But so I think his chin will hold up. And on this weekend's card, the proper card, not the circus. Look, anyone who knows me knows I'm into the two bosses in the small divisions in Lomachenko and Rigondeaux. So I'm definitely tuning into that one. I think Rigondeaux is just going to knock him out. I think his power is very underestimated for someone with low punch output. He's still collecting knockouts, and a crazy statistic is he's actually 1/5 of his fight. Every 5 fights he breaks someone's jaw. So. Anyone that knows that, and Flores is Mexican style, coming forward, a lot of pressure, and Rigondeaux loves that kind of thing. And we all saw, not we all saw, but if anyone saw the fight in Japan against Amagasa, he disfigured his face and probably almost killed him. So, and with Ward Kovalev, I'll be quick. I think Ward is just too smart of a fighter. I think he's learned from his mistakes, and he's going to clean him up in a unanimous decision. But that's my call, boys, and thanks for the show.
All right, Alex, thanks for calling in. Just got the call from the producer. Ladies and gentlemen, Harold Lederman will be live and on time in exactly 6 minutes. Okay, Matt, what you going to ask the old Harold Lederman, huh? I don't know. I'm gonna ask him to teach me how to score a fight. Teach me how to score like him. Let's go out to the United Kingdom to everyone's favorite caller.
So you know who I miss? I miss Blackface.
I thought I won the fight.
You thought you won the fight? Why?
Ain't no fucking padding in the fucking glove.
Yeah. It's Blackface on the microphone. Currently 12:51 in the AM. Just thought I'd call in and give my picks. I want to go with Kovalev. Based on the first fight, I went with Ward. I put money on Ward to win. I saw him lose, though. I thought I gave Kovalev the first fight. But I want to go Kovalev again. But Kovalev's attitude and everything just stinks. He's fully in his feelings. He's emotional. He's complaining. People are going acting as if being angry is a good thing. But whenever you're angry, you don't do anything well. I don't care what it is. If you're angry and you're driving, it's going to be a bad idea. If you're arguing with your girlfriend and you're angry, it's a bad idea. Anything you do and you're angry, it just doesn't turn out well. He just needs to calm down. He just needs to relax. I want to still go with him. I am going to pick him to win. But if he's acting like he's been acting and he's in the fight, he's just going to end up losing. He's going to be firing punches. He's going to be missing. He's going to be frustrated. And, he's probably not going to end well with him. But I'm going to pick him for the second fight. Anyway. I'm going to go Kovalev by a decision. For the Rigo fight, I'm going to go with Rigo on the decision as well. I don't really know much about the MMA. But, Floyd's got an uncanny ability to get into fights where people think the other guy has a chance, but that other guy doesn't really have a chance at all, in my opinion, unless Mayweather's been eating cheeseburgers, been retired and stuff. Plus, he's 40 and he's been inactive for 2 years, so who knows? He could do a David and pull his hamstring while he's in the fight, and anything could happen. But it's Mayweather all day, really. But yeah, it's a late one. That's my call. Kindness is a language that even deaf people can hear and blind people can see.
All right, Blackface, thanks for calling in. We're going to stay on a Skype machine. We're going to head on out to escapes the fate. Very own Robert Ortiz.
Matt the fucking hipster. Man, I don't know who this guy Floyd Mayweather's fighting, man. I was all excited. Floyd's coming back. This is fucking awesome, dude. He's my favorite fighter. Super, super stoked, but I ain't never heard of the guy he's fighting. I checked out his box rec. He has no fights.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, like who the fuck is he fighting? Is this for real? I guess it's probably just like some fucking tune-up. I mean, at least Jeff Horn has a boxing record, but if this is who them legends are going to be fighting, then they should just retire, man. Like, why are you even doing it if you don't really have the spirit of real competition? You're just going to fight guys we never heard of? But I don't know, man. It's kind of weird, I think. But I think it's probably just a tune-up. Should Canelo get past Triple G? And if it goes to a decision, Canelo's going to get past Triple G. And then you have a rematch for a guy who has earned it in Canelo. And you'll say, now he's got experience. Now it's going to be for real this time. Now he's going to beat Mayweather. And then that'll be 100. That's right. That's my conspiracy theory, dude. A $600 million tune-up to fight against Canelo for the legitimate 160-pound title. And then Mayweather retires 50-0 after he schools Canelo yet again. Now,
well, 51 according to your math, 51 because he's got.
Thank you for the correction. 51. We retired 51-0. So it's kind of the whole thing's very strange, and I don't know. I don't know what this guy can do. I have never seen him box. But the real fight that I know about is Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. That's a damn good fight. I give the first one to Sergey Kovalev. Mathematically, with that knockdown, it just wasn't possible for me to see Andre Ward winning after 8 rounds. But it was a good fight either way, very high level. And I think Andre Ward did adjust. But Kovalev always will have that X factor, man. If he just boxes, he can fucking put him down with any shot. That's still always cut it.
Rob, we love you. We'll be right back. We have Harold Lederman with our producer, Anna. Can you bring her on, Matt?
She's on.
Hi, guys. I'm here with the legend, the unofficial scorecard keeper, Mr. Harold Lederman.
How you doing, guys?
How you doing, Harold? We want to thank you, obviously, for taking the time out to join us here on the program and just giving us a little bit of your wisdom. I guess we want to keep it simple, and we just want you to walk us through the main criterias of scoring a fight, since in 2 days we will be back with HBO pay-per-view, Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev, a fight that ended in a bit of controversy. We want to kind of educate not only myself and my co-host, but our listeners on how to properly score a fight so that we know what to expect come Saturday night.
You know, if you go to the rule book, they tell you look for clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense. And you score 25%, for each of those 4 criteria. But the truth of the matter is at the end of the round, you say to yourself, who hurt the other guy more than the other guy hurt him? And the guy that did the most damage, you give him 10 points, and the other guy, you give him 9 points. And that's basically the way you score a round. I mean, what you're trying to score is who's doing more damage. It's that simple. You can complicate it with stuff like ring generalship, but the truth of the matter is you're really trying to, judge who did more damage in the round.
Hey, Harold. The boxing. Very quickly, you talked about damage and how that's a criteria for you, but it's not an official criteria in the rule books. What has led you to use that as a priority of a criteria for judging a round?
It's a fight, Matt and Nestor. It's a fight. you're judging who's doing more damage, who's beating the hell out of the other guy more than the other guy's beating the hell out of him. I mean, it's boxing. You're judging a fight, and in a fight, you're really judging who's doing more damage in a round. And it's that simple. I mean, yeah, you could go to ring generalship and defense. I mean, where you ever see a guy win a round based on defense? You can't win a round based on defense. And clean punching should be 99% of it, not 25% of it.
So, Harold, do things change when a guy like Floyd Mayweather or Andre Ward, even Terrence Crawford, when these type of style fighters, Pernell Whitaker, when they're in the ring, does the judging criteria change since there's fewer punches landed on these men?
No, not really. When you watch an Andre Ward fight, he wins fights because he landed more punches, not fewer. Same thing with Terrence Crawford. He always lands more punches than his opponent, I mean, you saw what he did to Felix Diaz on HBO recently. I mean, he's sensational, really is.
Harold, I know you scored it for Kovalev. Talking about this upcoming weekend's fights, I know you scored the first one for Sergey Kovalev.
The first fight.
Is your prediction for the second one, Sergey Kovalev?
I'll be honest with you. I try not to make predictions. I mean, you got to realize I got to keep score for HBO, and I don't want anybody coming to me saying that I was partial to Kovalev or to Ward before the fight started, So I try not to make predictions. I think it'll be a great fight. As far as the first fight goes, I'll tell you the truth, guys. I just thought that Sergey Kovalev landed the cleaner, harder shots throughout the fight. He was really hitting them much harder. And, Kovalev has nobody to blame for that loss but himself, because if you go back and you look at the second round, when he knocked Andre Ward down, he had Andre Ward hurt. And when Ward got up, Kovalev should have jumped right on him and finished him off. I mean, there's no question he should have jumped on him and try to get him out of there. But he didn't do that. He sort of stalled around and backed up. And, he really let Ward get off the hook in the second round, if you ask me. He should have knocked him out in the second round. Then it wouldn't have been a controversy.
Now, with this fight, there is that controversy, but then you have the man that claims that he won saying that he simultaneously overworked in the gym. Does that take away from the fact that he allegedly won if he's also having excuses?
No, these guys don't like each other. They're saying, since the first fight ended, they're saying all kinds of crap. I mean, the stuff that you hear is just ridiculous. Did you hear Sergey Kovalev was saying that Andre Ward drinks vodka every day? I mean, where the hell you get off saying something like that? The stupidity is absolutely amazing. I mean, Kovalev really wanted, foreign officials for this fight. He's saying, it's a Russian fighting an American, so therefore he's entitled to, at least one or two European judges, which I understand he's not getting. He really was saying a lot of stuff to sort of swing the fight in his direction, so to speak, the second fight. I think Nevada is pretty well set on the fact that they got three good American judges, and really, I think that's all you need. I don't think a European judge would help Sergey Kovalev in the least in the second fight. I think the fight will be scored fairly, to be perfectly honest. And but of course they're yelling at each other. They don't like each other. They're saying all kinds of nonsense about each other. I think that it helps build up the interest in the fight. That's what it's doing. I think we'll get more pay-per-view buys because of the fact that they're saying all this nonsense and they really don't like each other and they're saying all kinds of stuff about each other. I don't know if you heard this, but Sergey Kovalev didn't show up to the press conference today, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, what is the guy 2 days before the fight, he doesn't show up to the press conference? That's like, saying, the heck with you, press. I don't give a darn about you. It's terrible. He should have been there.
Harold, changing subjects very quickly. Obviously, the news that has taken over the boxing world is Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. As somebody who's been in the industry for a long time, what was your initial thoughts of this announced boxing bout, I should say? I guess we all have to say.
Yeah, I know. I don't think, I mean, look, it is what it is. It's a guy with 49-0 as a fighter, one of the best fighters in the last 10 years, if not the best. And Floyd Mayweather coming off a 2-year retirement, taking on a guy that's a a terrific UFC fighter, a real good, strong MMA fighter. But, Conor McGregor can't kick him, so, it's a boxing match. I'll be honest with you, I don't know why Conor McGregor wants to fight him in a boxing match. It's giving Floyd all the advantages, to be honest with you. But, hey, look, that's what they want to do. I'm sure that they both figured out how much money they're going to make in this fight, which is probably absolutely astronomical. And I guess that's why Conor McGregor is doing it. He figures he hits very hard. He's got a puncher's chance of winning the fight. And no matter what happens, if he gets killed or if he knocks out Mayweather, he's going to get a tremendous check at the end of the fight. So I think that's the main thing. The main thing is that they want to sell more pay-per-view homes than Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao sold. They want to put some big numbers up there and, and hopefully make a lot of money. I mean, Floyd Mayweather is talking about 9 figures. That's $100 million. That's a lot of money for a fight against a guy that never fought a boxing match.
Harold, excuse me. When you on this fight, obviously we're gonna have Guillermo Rigondeaux, and he's a fighter that needs to get on TV via pay-per-views. Is Moises Flores the name that's going to cross him over? What's it going to take for Guillermo? It feels like he's probably going to retire before he gets another big fight or becomes popular in this sport.
Well, Guillermo Rigondeaux, I don't think he'll ever be popular until he tries to go in there and knock somebody out. But the problem with Guillermo Rigondeaux is he's a great boxer. He really has tremendous skills, but he doesn't try to get you out of there, and people get bored watching him, and that's the problem. Certainly Moises Flores doesn't have the skills to beat Guillermo Rigondeaux. There's no way. Rigondeaux's going to win a 12-round decision. If Rigondeaux tries to knock out Moises Flores, I'd be amazed. He just doesn't go in there and give the fans any action, and that's what people want to see is action. At the end of the night, he's one of the dullest fighters I've ever seen in my life. He's got great skills, but he just doesn't try to knock you out, and it gets dull after a while.
So, Howard, if he goes in there and does exactly the opposite of what you said, knocks out Flores, should we start campaigning for him versus Lomachenko at maybe a catchweight where Lomachenko has to come down just a bit?
Yep, no doubt about it. If he knocks out Moises Flores and shows that he's aggressive and and he's going to fight the fight that people want to see, I'd love to see Guillermo Rigondeaux and Vasily Lomachenko. It would be a great fight.
And I want to get my Conor McGregor Mayweather question off to strengthen the card for you. Get Harold Lederman to actually sit down and watch this Mayweather versus Conor McGregor card. Who would you like to see on the undercard?
I haven't even thought about the undercard, to be honest with you. I really don't know. It's a Showtime show. I guess they're going to put their own fighters on the undercard. But I really have no idea who it's going to be.
Well, Harold, we want to thank you.
I'll tell you one thing. When Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao, he charged everybody $100 for the pay-per-view. I don't know what he's going to charge for Conor McGregor, but I certainly hope it's not $100. That's just too much for pay-per-view.
I think it is going to be $100. I was on the conference call yesterday, and the question was asked to Dana White. He said that the price wasn't yet set, but he said that everyone seems to think this is a super fight, and Manny Pacquiao Mayweather was a super fight, and that was $100.
Yep.
Are you surprised that Mayweather's taking this fight at 154 pounds, though, Harold? That shocked me a little bit. I said to myself, damn, Mayweather's a natural 147-pounder. He's been fighting at 147 for so long. He's only gone up for really big fights, but, here he has a guy that needs Mayweather to make the fight. Yes, Mayweather needs him, but Mayweather has way more options than Conor. He could have made him suck down to 47, but instead they're fighting at 54.
I agree with you. I have no idea why it's 154. You're right. It should have been 147.
Do you think that gives Conor some sort of an edge? I mean, he also has the experience of fighting 5-minute rounds. Does that somehow give him a mental edge or a physical edge, having more energy per round, being as though he's used to going longer?
Well, yeah, I mean, now he's going to have to go 3 minutes instead of 5. It'll be a longer fight. It's a 12-round fight, not a 5-round fight. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen in this fight. I personally, I just don't think that Conor McGregor can get out of the first round against Floyd Mayweather unless Floyd decides he's going to carry him for a couple of rounds. But, it seems to me it's going to be very, very one-sided in favor of Mayweather.
Well, Harold, we want to thank you, obviously, and our team will see you Saturday night live at the fight. If you have any social media you want to give out so the fight fans can follow you and get more in touch with Harold Lederman, do so at this time. And once again, thank you for the opportunity to have you here on our radio show. We truly appreciate you and everything you do for the sport of boxing.
Oh, thank you very much, Nestor and Matt. It's always great to be with you guys, and I appreciate you having me on. Have a good evening, and we'll see you Saturday night at the Mandalay Bay.
All right, there you have it. HBO's own unofficial scorecard, Harold Lederman. Matt, at least he sees it my way. It's a little weird for Mayweather to be going up to 154 fighting this guy. And you know what else is weird? They don't want. There's a non-disclosure. They signed a non-disclosure agreement, and they cannot speak about the amount of money. Yeah. But there is a leak that this is projected. Mayweather's projected. There was a leak yesterday that Mayweather's projected to make $600 million. Now, I wonder if they made Conor sign a non-disclosure because his side of the check is going to be smaller than Manny's. And not only do they want no one not to know that, Conor doesn't want anyone to know that he's making less than Manny. Or can you see a world where Conor's making over $180 million for this fight?
It has nothing to do with comparing it to Manny Pacquiao. You are right in placing the idea that the reason this is out is because of Conor McGregor's side, but the reason why you're saying it is wrong. The reason why is because Conor McGregor is about to make more money than almost every UFC fighter has combined. Like, the amount of money that McGregor is about to make, if it was public knowledge, would make every UFC fighter want more money. And this is a storyline about the UFC, not about boxing, so I'm not going to dwell on it for too long. But with what has been happening in the UFC due to fighter unrest due to pay, if they start hearing wind of McGregor clearing $100+ million, there's going to be some outrage, and the fighters in the UFC may get upset. That's why there's a non-disclosure agreement.
I just don't understand. I'm sorry to be stuck on this topic, bro, but I just don't understand how McGregor doesn't keep fighting in boxing. Like, you lose to Mayweather, right? Mm-hmm. You're still in that Lomachenko realm where Lomachenko lost to Salido, but he's still valuable. There's no way in hell you're going to tell me that you can't find another boxing promoter popular enough and with enough clout to make a McGregor versus someone at least premium cable, if not another fucking pay-per-view.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, it depends, I guess. Wait. Let me just add this other element because it does depend on how bad or good he looks.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with who he's contractually signed with. You can't just exit out from your promoter's contract and go and fight with another promoter. That's not going to happen.
No. I don't know where you're going with that. Listen to what I'm saying. You're
saying that Conor McGregor should take another boxing fight after this because he's going to make more money guaranteed in a boxing fight, which is true. However, he cannot do that. He is not contractually allowed to do that. The UFC has rights. You don't think the UFC has allowed him to take this fight?
No. You see, I don't think that you're right about that. I think
I am right about this. Again, you are always wrong about the UFC contract because I have read a UFC contract.
Present some facts. Because I remember, all I'm going to say is this. I remember when we first brought this up, and you said the same shit that you were dead set.
I brought up a clause in the UFC contract.
Let me rub this in your face. You were dead set that this could not happen because the UFC, blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, that motherfucker will walk.
I always told him, but he didn't walk. He didn't walk. You know why? Because he couldn't.
I bet you he could have.
Andre Ward tried walking from Dan Goosen. Look what happened to Andre Ward.
Listen to me.
Do you understand what it's like to break from a promoter contract when you're contractually obligated to them still?
I hear you. But for some reason, the UFC, who at first was not on board, got the fuck on board.
Because of money.
Because they knew they was about to lose that boy. It was going to happen with or without him. I'm telling you, that's how I feel. I felt that way back then when you said it wouldn't happen at all.
You need to go read a UFC contract before you speak on UFC.
I don't need to read the contract. You should have reread it because you was the one that day saying that it wouldn't even happen.
Again, I brought up this UFC contract and the clause, and I specified it word for word on a show months ago.
What? But
you want me to go find this contract again?
I don't need you to find it, Matt. All I need you to do is remember that months ago you said it would not,
yes, unless the UFC allows it, and they did.
And you said they would never allow it.
I did not think they were going to do it. That was my opinion.
All right, then. So that's that. That's that.
Again, your scenario was McGregor signing with another promoter. I said that's impossible.
No, but I'm not even saying signing. I'm just saying taking a second fight. I think that even after losing to Floyd, he's got a second fight out there.
The fight you're going to take after this is a Nate Diaz trilogy fight, and that's going to do over 2 million pay-per-view buys.
That's fine. You're talking UFC. I'm saying he has a boxing.
It doesn't.
Another one. I think he has it.
Matter because his promoter has more rights to him than he has of himself. That's just the reality.
Yo, you were on the call.
You don't know about UFC contracts. I do.
You were on the call. They were all fearful. Everyone was asking the same thing. Is Conor coming back? Get out of here. They don't even know if that guy's coming back, bro. They
can retire and rate out his deal. Again, these are all things I talked about on a later show.
They might have lost that kid. That's all I'm saying. Let me get out to some other callers, though. But with a check like that, they might have lost him. And we'll be talking about it later on when Matt's like, oh, the UFC contract, he found a loophole.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. You should have been playing that shit a couple of months ago when you told me this fight wasn't going to happen.
Stay in your lane.
Exactly. Play that shit for yourself. Giant Joe.
Yo, is this the Young Ali show?
Not yet. Not yet.
How you doing, Ness, Matt?
Good.
Yeah. Okay, this weekend, Ward Kovalev II. I'm going to go Kovalev just because I want to see him smash Ward's face in. Yeah. I'm kidding. No, it's going to be much like the first one. It's going to be a kind of high-level boxing match. This is a proper match. It's not really a fight. It wasn't the first time round. As we've already said, that Ward fights with one arm these days, and he is exceptional with one arm, but he's not going to knock Kovalev out. I think it's going to go to points again, and I'll side with Kovalev just because I'd like to see a trilogy of that kind of level of fighting. I don't actually think that Kovalev is angry either. I think he's just had enough of talking. I think the guy's just pissed off with the bullshit. He just wants to get it on. He just wants to fight. So he doesn't want to hear any more words, and he doesn't want to hear any more, as he calls it, lies. So he just left the press conference. I don't wish to correct Harold Lederman. Harold Lederman's a legend as well, but he left the press conference. It wasn't that he didn't turn up. Some of you others, Rigondaux's on the card. I'd like to see him put some more jawbones across the ring as well. I like Rigondeaux. I like his masterful ability. I think the guy could become a great coach when he quits fighting. He might be able to pass on all of that ability to a whole stable full of fighters. It might not be his gift to be a star in his own right, but what he could teach others, he could be a great coach. David Haye being fined by the British Boxing Board of Control. Yeah, that was for basically saying he was going to body Bellew. He kept repeatedly telling him he was going home on a stretcher. And that kind of stuff is, we don't want to see fighters get hurt to that degree. And when it does happen, it's regretful. So he might have been. And thank you very much for that. Yeah, he might have been cursing a bit, but that goes on. So what? Anything else? What else have we got?
Whatever you want to touch on. There's other topics out there. Did you
Mikey against Adrien Broner. I think this is Mikey's proper coming out party. I mean, the big audience, the big pay-per-view audience in the States is the Mexican audience, and we've got Canelo, but we need other fighters for that audience. So I think this is Mikey's coming out. I think he's going to smash Broner to bits. I think Broner's got that superstardom that gives him the opportunity to convert to being that next Mexican star on that level. So yeah, good show. Hit the thumbs up button, everybody, or get a tattoo of the TBV logo on your chest. Down.
Oh man, Joe, thanks for calling in. Robert, let's get back to you, brother.
Very quickly before we go to Robert, just a couple of the fights I just want to mention this weekend that are happening that we did not talk about. Taiwan Zig versus Paul Smith is happening for the WBA regular super middleweight title.
Who the fuck is that guy?
It matters. Come on, even though it's not that great of a fight. Steven Smith is on the undercard. Another Smith brother, Diego Chavez. I know you like that name, Ness. He is fighting this weekend. I believe, in Argentina or one of those countries. Nico Hernandez, Olympian. He is making not his debut or anything like that. But
he gets no love, bro. Like he's been fighting a bunch of times in Wichita, Kansas. I mean, I know that's around his hometown, but like off TV, signed. I don't even know who he signed to.
No idea. I have no idea if he's signed with either. But it's on CBS Sportsnet. So if you want to watch it, there it is. Dimitri Bivol is on the undercard of the Andre Ward fight event, I should say. And I know a lot of hardcores and hipsters have been,
who the fuck is that guy?
Felicia Shields is fighting this weekend. Definitely a name to always just stay and pay attention to. Pablo Cesar Cano versus Fidel Maldonado Jr. It's happening on ESPN2. Again, not the greatest fights, but there are fights happening. Just want to make note of them. And we go back to the Rockstar.
The hipsters picks, I'm telling you. Rob, what up? Mr. Ortiz. Going once. Twice. Jersey, talk to me.
Yo, fellas, it was a great show. Listen, let me do my picks first. Let me get Ward. I think he's going to go into this fight knowing a hell of a lot more than he did the first time around. I'm also going with Rigo. You know, I don't know what Rigo is going to do in terms of the level of competition, man. Yeah, if he doesn't move, then we're not going to really be able to see him challenge himself against some of the best fighters. And I'm not saying he got to jump all the way to 135, but you know, at least swim around 130, do a couple catch with something. I don't know. You know, I missed the show this morning about Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just want to say something. I don't know if he's too, like, I don't know if he's going through a little something, because I don't know the man personally. I don't know nothing about his personal character, even if I like the dude. But what I think is that, you know, the thing with Brazil, and, you know, they said, you know, he was, you know, got arrested for marijuana. I hope he's not getting bored, getting out of character, and having too many hanger-ons around to the point where he's, like, you know, getting a little bit undisciplined. I hope that's not happening.
Well, for the record, Deontay Wilder is Rastafarian. I mean, that does play a factor into smoking weed, I would say.
That's legit, Matt. That's legit.
Yeah, so I don't think it's something you have to worry about him, you know, getting into drugs or anything like that. I think it's just what he has talked about, you know, Salisi and being Rastafarian. So I think that's probably what is most likely.
All right, and that's why I wanted to, you know, say something on it, because I hate to see, you know, a guy with a lot of potential like that kind of get caught up being bored or not really being able to, you know, get the fights that he wants. So, like, to see a guy become unhinged, I want to see him become unhinged. But you know, other than that, this McGregor Mayweather thing, I think Floyd is taking the fight at 154 because he absolutely does not care about what McGregor is going to do in the ring. He knows he's going to wash this dude, and he wants to bait the odds good enough that when he does better himself and win, he could clean up with the alleged $600 million plus he's arrogant enough to bet $50 million on himself. And, you know, it is what it is. My name is Floyd. My name is Floyd. Money, Mayweather. Play the clip. I'm out.
All right. I mean, thanks for calling in, brother.
My name is Floyd. My name is Floyd. My name is Money Mayweather.
Alden in Phoenix, talk to us.
What up, Ness? Quick fact, Ness. Pay-per-view, when the companies take 50% of all the money. So if they do 500 million, 5 million pay-per-views at $100, Dish, whatever, DirecTV takes half of that. So that leaves 250. So Mayweather ain't touching 600 million. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's why they got that NDA, so they can make up a bunch of shit. Second thing is McGregor wins in a street fight. Mayweather wins in a boxing fight. McGregor got no shot. Mayweather's just gonna play with him for a few rounds, like literally play with him, make it a joke, embarrass him, and then I don't know, maybe TKO or knock him out. Ward Kovalev, I hope Kovalev wins. Kovalev got shafted the last fight. Kovalev won the last fight, but I think Ward's gonna win because Ward holds on like crazy. And you were talking in the beginning of the show like why nobody cares. It's because there's too many champions, Ness. 4 belts for one division. People get average fan gets lost in that shit. And then plus Ward doesn't knock out nobody, so he doesn't knock out. So what do people know him for? Only the hardcores know him, but nobody gives a shit about somebody if they don't knock nobody out. And the last point is that the only way Ward can get popular is outside of social media. But he's got to fight. I mean, how did Mayweather get popular? He fought Hispanic fighters, right? And you know Hispanic fighters in 175. Same issue Triple G got till he fighted Canelo, right? Triple G gonna fight Canelo, right? He's Hispanic. So same thing, man. That's a tough luck Andre Ward guy. If you ain't knocking nobody out, you better be fighting Hispanic fighters. But he's fresh out of luck. So that's all I got, Ness. I got Ward because he's going to be holding on to Kovalev more than my girl holds on to me, man. So I got Ward.
Alden, man, thanks for calling in, brother. Matt, the calls are piling up, brother. Let's go out to my boy, Luke in Jersey. What up?
Yo, Nestor Gibbs, Matthew Hunter.
What up?
What up?
I really like how the Boxing Voice is now going live to Patreon. Shout out to all the Patreon members. So if you want to talk live on the show, on the spontaneous shows, you got to be a patron. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait afterwards when it's a little stale. Catch it on YouTube. I got Kovalev in the rematch, though. You know, I'm a big Ward fan, but I feel like Kovalev, he's got the better jab. Ward, like you said, he's all left hand. He's going to really have to introduce the left hook or do something new and bring back the overhand right to do any damage, you know, because if you've been hearing, Virgil has been saying that he's been training for the knockout. So the only way Ward can do the knockout is with the left hook or the overhand right. But also, Mikey versus Broner, you guys, or someone was saying that they thought it was going to be in Vegas, but it's in Barclays. So the tickets aren't too bad. I think I'm going to be going. You guys are probably going to go to that, I imagine, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely, at the very least, going to be there for all the build-up. I know Adam, TBV, is definitely covering it. I'm on the fence on whether or not I want to be here for the immediate reaction. I think that's a big one. I might want to be here for the immediate reaction and send 2 guys out to the actual fight to cover it. Because me and the hippity hip, I don't know, these immediate reactions, they tend to be big.
Yeah, they bring in a lot of new listeners, so that's really important. But Trout versus Hurd is a great undercard fight. I think Trout will kill him. I love that fight. But people underestimate Trout. Trout is a really good fighter. I think he's going to beat Hurd. But Wilder, I missed the live show they had earlier. TVV had the live show about Wilder getting caught. I don't know how you guys get caught with Bud in this day and age. I mean, like, you know, you put it in your car, you be smart about it. It's not that hard. I'm cool with Bud, but it's really bad for the public image. Like Chavez got caught with it, and just like everybody thinks he's a stoner now. Like they think he doesn't care. Like it's bad for his image, even if it wasn't true. You know, which it probably was, but like who cares? But it just doesn't look good, man.
Is it bad for his image though? I mean, Nick and Nate Diaz are doing weed promos and smoking weed for Vice.com. I mean, and they're pretty much,
yeah, but they're owning up to it. They're owning up to it. This is
good point. Very good point. And I mean, when you bring up Chavez, I mean, I think there's other evidence to show that he is lazy in a sense.
Yeah, so the story,
there's not that lazy storyline with Wilder, I would say.
Yo, Giant Joe said Bong Squad.
That might catch on. And you know what? He might actually want to fucking, utilize that, man.
For a bong?
Trademark that shit, dude.
Bong
If
Squad.
he's Rastafarian and own up to it, man. Like, just be that character, Like, boxing's always
McGregor versus Mayweather. McGregor versus Mayweather, the biggest story in boxing right now. Everyone is talking about it, even outside of the boxing world. So you guys got to milk that a little bit. That's all. Have a good night, TBV.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Luke. We're going out to Idris in the UK.
Hey, what's up, man? I can't wait for this Ward Kovalev fight, man. I don't know why, but the interest was starting to die out for me a little bit. Today's press conference just reminded me how much of a grudge fight this is and how both guys really want this fight, want this win so badly. So I'm looking forward to it big time, man. And the Conor McGregor fight, you have to remember Mayweather has some of the best undercards, man. That's where we saw Amir Khan, Cazorla, we've seen Adrien Broner. We even got Danny Garcia Matisse in one of his undercards. He's always had legendary undercards, so hopefully he can get some good fights on there and it'll just be big. And I really want to see that fight anyway. So I know it's a bit of a circus act, but it's still something. But I want to say something because Matt, you wasn't here when I was talking about Deontay Wilder, but it's true though. When they go into camp, that's when they before they get into camp, they have their last real big cheat meal. They have sex with their wife for the last time. They probably smoke weed for the last time. It could be one of them cases where he's about to go into camp. So I think we should go see what's happening with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, well, I did get a tip that there should be like a July announcement for a September fight date. Hopefully that is the case.
Hopefully. But yeah, that's my call, man.
All right, Idris, thanks for calling in. Mute yourself. Let's go out to Josh. Talk to me. Josh on Skype. Marty Sway. Just listening at work. I'm going over. Text me if you're ready, when you're ready. Uh-oh. You know what time it is. It's time to get to our IG master is in the building.
I won't deny it.
Dollar DiBiase Production.
Come with me. Hail Mary, run quick, see what we have here now.
Boxingvoice.com.
Everybody fight that one. Be like the Uno.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
What's up, guys? Let's go. Man, I'm excited. Ward Kovalev. Hey, you guys know I'm taking the light heavyweight champion of the world, man. I'm taking Andre Ward. Mark it down because listening to the show, I hear a lot of crow coming. A lot of crow coming on Sunday. I have no idea, man. I'm confused. Ness. I don't know why. Nobody's excited for this fight. They're talking shit to each other. We got the bad blood. It's a real fight. We got so many titles on the line. We got so much skill in the ring with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. And then you have the power factor with Sergey. But you got Ward saying, hey, he's coming hard. And so I'm super excited for this. I mean, Andre Ward's been on ESPN First Take talking about it. So I agree with you guys. I have no idea why there's no interest in this fight. I mean, I've had 5 or 6 casual fans already RSVP me talking about, hey, I'm at your house August 26th for the Mayweather-McGregor. But when I mention, hey, I got the Ward Kovalev, they're like, who? Nah, I'm cool. And I'm like, wow, really? So I'm confused about that. But because we all know Mayweather's going to fully dominate that fight. He will destroy this 0-0 fighter who doesn't get the mention of a name
Sorry about that, Nat. And Mayweather's gonna do 500 million, man. All he does is win. I can't even hate. I don't see why anybody would hate on him. I'm picking Clarissa Shields, Paul Smith for fun, and then picking Diana Fernandez and Virgil Ortiz to win, man. Great show, great interview. Join us on Patreon because the show's not over. We got the
TBV
Boxing Voice overtime.
Oh man,
No doubt.
Yo,
Hey,
where we definitely should go over these Deontay Wilder from our morning spontaneous Patreon edition show. We need to go over these comments. Those are hilarious. Yo, I think it's just like a cool thing. Like weed in any subject makes everything funny. Those guys are having
makes everything better. That's a fact.
yeah, they're having a ball in the comment section. But Alex, man, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, the last thing I want to say real quick was about you guys. You mentioned Nate Diaz. I know now. You know he's in California. Weed is legal in California. It's a whole different vibe now. It's not frowned that much upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those guys aren't regional stars. And we're talking about branding and worrying about your brand being ruined by smoking weed. I think in today's climate and culture, it doesn't fucking matter if you smoke weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, he was going to a lot of schools and stuff.
Alabama, it's different in Alabama. That's just a fact. Let's just be honest. In Alabama, it's a completely different world. So I don't know what the climate is in that state. But in the country as a whole, in the world as a whole, yeah, nobody gives a fuck about weed anymore.
I just hope that didn't ruin anything, man, because I definitely want to be back in that location for camp, but it just seems like negative press after negative press. First the Brazil thing.
It's hot now, man. The spot's hot now.
Yeah, now this thing. He probably ain't opening no doors. But let me welcome back a long-time listener. Fight Doctor, you better get your ass on Patreon.
Don't even respect your ass. That's why it's time for the doctor to check your ass, nigga.
Yo, Fight Doctor in the house. On Rick James status, about to be on Patreon status. What's going on, gentlemen?
You tell us. I want to ask you right off the bat, before you get into everything. I asked Matt, is the Adonis Stevenson fight versus the winner of these two guys bigger than this fight?
In Canada, yeah. Stevenson is a draw in Canada. So I would imagine the winner of this fight, if they do a fight against Stevenson in Montreal, that would be a huge event in Montreal. So conceivably, yeah. Because look, at the end of the day, Kovalev isn't really a draw. Ward isn't really a draw. Okay? It just, I mean, how many pay-per-views did the first fight do? 160, maybe?
165,
so,
I think.
I mean, that's, yeah. So, I mean, that's not like terrible. That's not like Chad Dawson, Bernard Hopkins. Okay? But it's not, I mean, look, guys who are a draw, they do 250, 300. Okay? That's when you're a draw. For both of these guys, top 10 pound for pound, and they get together and they only draw 160,000 pay-per-views. Okay? Now, listen, in terms of significance, I think, this is a very significant fight, but these guys are just not a draw. So, do I think that the winner of this fight versus Adonis Stevenson is a bigger fight? Yeah, because Stevenson, like him or hate him, he's a draw. Okay, he might not be a draw in the United States, but he's damn sure a draw in Canada. Okay, so yeah, it's a bigger fight, honestly. Yeah. Now, having said that, Matt was right. Ness, you were wrong. At the end of the day, the UFC owns Conor McGregor, so he can't fight without their permission, be it boxing or UFC. And I think Matt has a point when he says the reason why there was a non-disclosure agreement for this fight is because apparently Conor McGregor is being paid some, monumental amount of money
And if other UFC fighters who are being robbed blind, okay, let's be honest, who are being paid slave wages, if they can't win, and they will catch wind. When they catch wind, there's going to be some problems. There's going to be some problems in the UFC because of this fight, because of the amount of money that McGregor is probably getting. He's making the big boxing money as opposed to the little UFC money. So yeah, I think there's probably going to be some repercussions throughout the UFC world as a result of the purse that McGregor is getting in this fight. Now, having said that, and I don't really, look, that's a circus. It's not really worthy of our time. I want to talk about what happened today, which is Kovalev having left the press conference. Listen, the man, I don't want to say the man is scared, but the man is having problems, okay? The man is damn sure having problems. Between him, his trainer, being Benedict Arnold, okay? John David Jackson, that's his new name, Benedict Arnold, okay? That's his name from now on. John Benedict Arnold.
But what about when Ward didn't show up to the face-off, to the HBO face-off?
Look, at the end of the day, the simple fact is the reason why Ward didn't show up to the face-off because Kovalev didn't show up to the event earlier that day. Okay? So apparently Ward had to get back to training or whatever he needed to do, so he figured he wasn't going to, wait around for Kovalev to make up his mind what he wanted to do. Listen, Kovalev is working with a bottle short of a six-pack, okay? Honestly, just look at the man. Look at the whole scenario. Just look at the press conference. Look at the build-up to this fight. Look at all the shit that has happened since they announced, even before they announced the fight. The lead-up, everything. Look, Kovalev's promoter, she obviously doesn't have a clue. She obviously doesn't have a clue, okay? Kovalev, being a racist, all right? The man is a racist. All right, let's call a spade, pun intended, all right? John David Jackson turning turncoat. Okay, it's been, look, the Kovalev training camp, the Kovalev side of the equation has been a shit show. The shit show started on the Kovalev side the minute they read the decision from the first fight. It's been a constant shit show since then. Okay? And when you add it all up, it adds to Andre Ward's unanimous decision, possible stoppage come Saturday. Okay? That's what the math is telling me. All right? And then you get to the press conference, and what does the man do? He walks out. Why? The biggest fight of your career. The biggest fight of your career. Your chance of redemption. And you don't want to look the man in the eye, who you claim was the beneficiary of a robbery. And you don't want to do the stare down. That's the reason why he walked out on the press conference. He didn't want to do the stare down. It wasn't all this shit about, he felt that he was robbed and this, that, and all this extra shit. No. The man has mental problems. Ward is all kinds of ways. Look, the man is acting like Ward was sleeping with his mom the other night. Honestly.
Fight doctor. Are you gonna break this fight? Are you gonna break this fight down, or are you just gonna talk shit about Sergey Kovalev?
The fight is already broken down. I already told you. Andre Ward by unanimous decision, and it won't be close, or possible stoppage.
Yeah, but I don't see how that. I don't see how that's any different from your first pick. It was a close fight. You don't expect them to do anything different?
No, wait, stop. Wait, back up, stop. All right, and I'm glad you had Harold Lederman on the show. Harold Lederman does not know shit about scoring a fight. Look, listen. Harold Lederman, the man, he needs to retire. Stop drinking. Stop taking them drugs before you score a fight, Mr. Lederman, okay? All right, honestly, Stevie Wonder Ray Charles could score a fight better than this man. Honestly. Okay, the first fight wasn't close. I watched the fight two nights ago, okay? I watched it Tuesday night. After 6 rounds, I had Kovalev up by a point. The fight wasn't really all that close. It wasn't, okay? Kovalev, listen, go back, watch the fight with the sound off. All right? Now, I want everyone to listen. When you are scoring a fight, there's one thing you should remember. You don't get points for holding and hitting. Let me repeat. You do not get points for holding and hitting. Andre Ward is trying to fight on the inside. And what does Kovalev do? He wraps his arm around Andre Ward's neck and commits to hitting him in the body.
Cut it.
Damn. Fight Doctor kind of losing the swag, right? A lot of rambling and shit. What's up? Hold on a minute, Santana. I think we got our next guest? What's going on, man?
But we do have one of our co-hosts calling in, Mr. Cash Weezy.
Oh, Louise is gonna have to wait. I mean, we in the middle of
set. I mean, he may be busy, so I want to get to him really fast. Plus, we got a ringer after him and Jose.
But what about Santana? You just
go to Cash Weezy, and we'll go back to Santana, and then we're gonna go to Jose.
Damn. Get your friend on. I don't even know where he's at.
I got him. I got you, Cash Weezy.
I don't hear him. He ain't been around all month.
Yo, thank you. Yo, what up, man? You know I'm busy. I'm doing my thing behind the scenes, man.
Who's this?
Thaboxingvoice thing.
Who's this?
Yo.
First time caller?
How long have you been listening to the show?
Listener.
Damn, long time listener, first time. All right, let me go ahead and play this first time caller intro. You introduce yourself to the world. Let them know your name, where you calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yo, let's keep it real 100. Let's keep that message. The voice of the people. Enrique Church, a.k.a. the Casual Fan, better known now as Cash Weezy.
Yo, straight from the chat. Straight from the chat. They like Giant Joe King says, Weezy been smoking with the bronze bonga.
All good.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. If you don't know, Deontay Wilder got pulled over with some marijuana a couple hours ago.
I know. I follow social media. I follow the Boxing Voice. I'm in the chat where I get the breaking news first. But I was listening to the show the past 30 minutes, and I heard Fight Doctor and Lemon talking about Donna Stevenson and being a not Fight Doctor, but Lemon. I was talking about Donna Stevenson being a possible opponent of the winner of Kovalev Ward 2. I like that fight. Will it be bigger? I don't think so. I think it's a hardcore only, rated fight. If you rate it, it's one of those times that you'll allocate the time to watch it. But there's other people that aren't gonna even care, and it's gonna be missed. And maybe see it on a highlight reel. But Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor is the fight that broke the internet. Dan Rafael was saying that it cast a shadow over this weekend's fight over Miguel Cotto. But again, hardcore fans gonna watch this weekend's fight and Miguel Cotto. But Conor McGregor and Floyd, I'm wondering what the undercard is going to be like. I mean, I remember a few weeks ago, AJ was saying he would make a spectacle on the undercard, and Gravante, since he's a Mayweather promotion, might be on that card, and the J. Leon Love, since he was rolling with Mayweather in that big ass.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Does he have on? Exactly. Well, let's be excited about the undercard. No? Nah, we don't think so. But anyway, I'm going to watch that fight. I'm seeing people saying, if you want to have a good weekend, that's the weekend to go to Vegas. Is that bigger than the Gennady Golovkin Canelo Alvarez fight? Not to me, but definitely a fight I will watch. That's pretty much what I got to say. You guys are awesome. Thank you for everything. I'm tired. I've been MIA, yes, but I've been working. I barely worked this year, so I've been around a lot, and I got 2 weeks of work, and I'll be in Florida facing Jose, the Canadian, for the Border Wars, as we've been saying. So maybe I ain't ready So put your money on him and lose it. That's all.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Cash Weezy. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get back to Santana. Santana, man, talk to us.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? We'll start with the Floyd and McGregor fight. I'm okay with the fight. Reason is because, you know, Mayweather, he's been retired for 2 years, so he's not even ranked. You know, this is more of an entertaining fight, you know. Unlike Pacquiao, who has a belt and is not fighting none of the top guys, Mayweather has actually retired when he says he is. So I'm okay with the fight. It's all about business and money. Floyd is the same guy who fought Big Show at WrestleMania, so it's pretty much the same thing, entertainment, you know, so I'm cool with that. But I agree with you, Ness. I feel like Floyd, he can't pot shot all the way to 12 rounds. I don't want to see that. I want to see him dominate. I want to see the old pretty boy Floyd. I want to see 5-punch combinations. I want to basically see him humiliate Conor McGregor, you know. So you can't go 12 rounds with a guy. It's just like going 12 rounds with one of us with no boxing background. Just crazy. As far as the Ward and the Kovalev fight, I'm hyped for that fight. I think y'all kind of downplayed the first fight. I thought the first fight was pretty good, you know. Ward was down and on the scorecards. He had to battle his way back. We never seen him have to do that. So I felt like that was a good fight. It was a technical fight. I feel like this fight is going to be close too, but I'm leaning towards Ward. I feel like he has to fight on the inside. I don't think he could beat Kovalev on the outside. I think Kovalev jab is just too good of. He got a too good of a jab that knocks Ward off his rhythm. And Ward is a good boxer, but he lacks the athletic ability like a Crawford or a Mayweather. He doesn't really have quick foot movement. He's kind of stiff a little bit, but he has great boxing IQ. So I feel like he has to stay on the inside. I feel like this is going to be a dirty fight this time. I feel like these two guys hate each other, especially Kovalev. And I don't know, it's just funny though, but the hate for Ward, like this is a guy that doesn't really trash talk. He's a God-fearing man. He goes in, gets the job done, and he gets all the hate. But Kovalev, you know, he storming off the press conference, you know, saying a whole bunch of racial stuff a lot of the time. And, you know, everybody prays him, but hate Ward. It's just crazy. So for Matt, you know, a lot of people be saying like racism doesn't exist in boxing. I mean, Ward is a clear example of racism in boxing. Mayweather, he talks trash. You know, everybody hates Mayweather, but Conor do it. Everybody loves him. So, and that's all I got pretty much.
Santana, man, thanks for calling in. Matt. Packing the Mac in the back of the act.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TBV, Ness, what up?
What up?
What up?
At the Hipster, good to see you, man. Good to hear from you. Yo, I'm excited for this fight, man. Like, I can't believe it's not. I mean, I understand why it's not. I guess it's big not because you had that Mayweather come in with that news. It's almost like he did it on purpose because, you know, he's been talking a lot of shit to and about Ward and Virgil Hunter, you know what I'm saying, over the last month or so. So maybe that's just personal, you know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe it's conspiracy, but still, you know. I'm still excited for this fight, though. Not as much that Rigondeaux, or what is he saying, Rigondeaux or whatever. I mean, he's a great boxer, man, and I don't like to agree with Harold Lederman, but he's just not exciting. You know, I think he was on an undercard of Cotto Canelo, and the crowd was booing for like 8 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry, he's a garbage. I mean, he's a great boxer, man, but he never changed his mind on that. The Broner Garcia thing, man, I'm excited for that too. Right now, it look like Broner serious. We'll see how that play out. You know what I'm saying? As far as his training go, that David Haye shit,
that's fucked up that they fined him for that. I mean, I understand the body bag shit, but that's what boxing's supposed to be about, right? I mean, obviously he ain't serious about trying to put him on the body bag. As far as my picks, I'm going with Ward again. I've never agreed with Fight Doctor before, so it really catches me off guard. But I think it's going to be a dominant decision by Ward, if not a late stoppage. I think it'll look more like that Dawson fight. And obviously Rigondeaux gonna win, so we're not even gonna talk about that. Like I said, though, I'm excited for this fight. I do hope that Kovalev is not so caught up in his emotions, because he does seem really angry. He's pitched a lot of hate towards this man. I mean, we could talk races or just, it's like a chink right now. Plus, he lost his belts to this man. I mean, he knocked him down, but he couldn't get him out of there. So, obviously, it might make him question his power or his own ability. You know what I'm saying? But he's got a real deep amount of hate for Ward. I mean, I would say the feeling mutual, but I mean, it's God. You know what I'm saying? So, either way, I look forward to seeing this fight, man. I think it's going to be even more exciting than the first one was, because I thought the first one was a great fight. And I look forward to talking to you on the immediate reaction show, man. As I always say, make sure that you push the thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast, and I'll talk to you on it. Or I'll see y'all on that TVB overtime, man. Get that Patreon, then you understand. Peace.
All right, Stainless, thanks for calling in, brother. Let's see, who do we got here? We're going to boomerang Alex back in. What's going on, brother?
Hey, boys. I was just going to say quickly, I don't know what the fuck Fight Doctor was going on about, saying turn off the volume, it wasn't a close fight. Man, look, but that's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. That was a very competitive fight, could have gone either way. And get to Patreon, you bum, and get some boomerang status and reply, huh? But that's all I wanted to say, and catch you guys on overtime.
All right, Alex, thanks for calling in. Let's see, we got my man Shandu Logan. Shandu, what's going on, brother? Where you been at? I hope you're getting some training over there. I don't know, man. You got this Angelo. Oh man, Shandu, I gotta come back to you, Shandu. We got the master disaster, the producer. She's ready. Matt, bring her on. Matt. This guy just walked off. Monsterpiece, you ready?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Awesome. I have Lainez Bellows. I hope I pronounced that right.
No, it's Bellows. How you doing, though?
Mr. Bellows, I want to thank you, obviously, for giving us the opportunity to interview you and taking out the time to be here on the Boxing Voice. We truly appreciate it. Always a pleasure to have a boxer live on the show to give his takes. Obviously, you have something lined up for Samstown Casino. This fight's going to be taking place Tuesday on the PBC Tuesday Night Fights. You're taking on Mike Snyder. What could you tell us about your opponent?
I can tell you that he's going to lose. I can tell you that I'm prepared, and he's not prepared enough. And I'm going to get my hand raised in victory.
Now, you're campaigning in the super middleweight division. For those that may not have seen you, obviously this is going to be a televised fight, but tell them why they should tune in. What sort of style does Lainez Bellows have?
Oh, I'm an aggressive puncher boxer. I mean, I can box a little bit, but my power is kind of where it's at. I go out there and I handle business, and I'm focused. And I mean, everybody should tune in if they can and check out somebody that's on the climb to build a strong legacy in this boxing game.
Now, obviously, in your last one out, you suffered a split decision loss. Have you gone back and changed anything? Did you get to watch the tape? Have you figured out what happened, or are you chalking it up to bad scoring?
I'm gonna chalk it up to bad scoring. I could always do more though. So naturally, I've added on, but I didn't feel like I did enough to lose or didn't do enough to lose that fight. I really don't know what they were looking at, but I just got in my mindset to no longer leave it in the judge's hand if I can help it.
Now, being with the Mayweather promotions, obviously, you get a lot of attention. Is it difficult because the fight fans and the boxing media are kind of have a certain perception of what you should and shouldn't do, being as though that you're signed to who you're signed to?
I mean, I'm sure it adds a little extra overhead, oversight, but for the most part, no. I mean, I haven't been boxing that long, so I mean, it doesn't really affect me none because I'm still a student of the game. I'm learning daily. So what the critics and anybody has to say just based on my promoter, it's pure just talk basically. I mean, I get in that ring and I focus on what I got to focus on. And for those that don't like it, oh well. For those that do like it, thank you for your support. But it's just a little. I mean, it's always a little bit of a spectacle because of the promoter. But nah, I mean, I'm my own man and I'm my own fighter, so I'm learning my way and fighting my way through this boxing game by myself. So I just let it be what it be.
Now, in your last loss, you took on DeCarlo Perez. He's pretty known. He's been on Showbox once or twice. He's even fought a couple of your stablemates. Is that something that you're done with that? Or is that a fight that you would like to maybe seek a rematch in the past to kind of clear that up?
I mean, I'm always willing to fight. I don't really turn down no fights. As far as him, he just lost to my stablemate. No, excuse me. He got knocked out by my stablemate. So I mean, this is somebody that I boxed him to help him prepare for DeCarlo, and then he went out there and stopped him. So I mean, I'm not interested in it. I mean, I took my loss and I'll keep it pushing. But I mean, if it ever comes across the table, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no. It's my time. It'll be my turn to knock him out. But I'm not seeking for anything. I'm just here. Whatever fights come up, I just say yes, and we get in that square circle and handle business.
So what is the goal for Lainez Bellows? I mean, what's your story and where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I definitely plan on being a world champion. I mean, 5 years from now, I plan on having a good run. So maybe, I mean, I'm 31 now. I'll be 32 at the end of this year. I don't know how the career, where my career is going to take me as far as 5 years from now, but I know within 5 years, definitely I'll be a world title holder and probably defend it more than a few times. And I mean, build a great legacy and continue to be a great father and son to my and family member. So I mean, as far as 5 years from now, I pray that I got everything that I'm gonna get out this game, and now I'm just relaxing, watching my kids grow.
And you are a full-time fighter, right?
Yes, sir.
So obviously, you know, like you said, you're looking. Mike Snyder is really no one, and you're looking to defeat him. So that being said, we spoke of your promoter. We both know the big news and his announcement, his return to the ring. Before the announcement, there was always rumblings and Mayweather himself saying that he would like to have certain individuals on his undercard. While your name wasn't mentioned, is Tuesday night sort of an audition in the back of your mind? If you can look good enough, maybe you can entice Mayweather to put you on this card where millions and millions of eyes will be tuned in August 26th.
Well, first and foremost, I want to make sure I correct you. I never said that Mike Snyder was nothing, but he's just going to lose. You know, I take every fight serious, and I'm gonna go out there and handle business as should he. But as far as Tuesday night,
Nah, it's not no audition. I've been here before. After my first questionable loss, I went 10 straight, and then I ran across the Carlo loss. I mean, it's not really an audition. The proof is in the pudding. I've been doing what I'm doing. If I'm blessed and fortunate, if God sees fit, I'll make it on the card. If not, I'll be there to support. I just take things in stride, man. I mean, I don't really believe this is an audition, but I do believe I will look good come Tuesday night.
Now, you spoke about your power. Are you looking for the knockout, or is it typical amongst boxers just to say, you let what comes come to you?
I particularly always look for the knockout, but I don't rely on the knockout. Like I said, I would like to keep it out the judge's hand as much as possible, but I do plan on going out there and put on a little puncher boxer expo, which means a lot of power, but definitely some skill involved in there. So we just have to, like I said, we'll see how it ends, but I'm hoping that it ends with a knockout. On him on the canvas, me standing up.
Well, I want to get a couple of more questions, obviously, on the big fight, August 26th. How long did you know that this would actually happen? Because for the rest of us, it came as a surprise. So many times this was either in the media, in the news, and people would just brush it off like, oh, that's never going to happen. He doesn't have any boxing experience, but here we are, and we do have this fight. Did you think that we would get it?
Yes, I did think that the fight would take place. When was always questionable. I didn't hear about it until everybody else heard about it in the media. But my promoter, he's been in the gym lately, so that was already a tell sign that something was going to be produced. And then once I heard the August 26th, I was like, nah, it's time. I mean, I didn't really have no inside track. I heard it as everybody else heard it. So
were you
I'm just waiting for
I was gonna ask, were you as shocked as the rest of us that Floyd kind of made this one at 54 when Conor has fought as low as 145 in the UFC? We kind of expected this fight to be at welterweight 147, but he's actually fighting him at 54.
I mean, when you look into the specifics of it, I guess, I would be surprised that it'd be at 54, because Floyd's never really that big. But maybe he's giving Conor a little grace period so Conor can bulk up and fill in, and I don't know, look good. Maybe he'll look good physically before Floyd knocks him out. I mean, I'm not really sure why the weight was set that high, but hey, we just have to see how it play out.
You said before Floyd knocks him out, I was talking to my co-host, and I'm like, look, is this a fight where Floyd shouldn't let this guy go 12 rounds? Like, should this be a Victor Ortiz type of performance where he knocks him out early? And I'll ask you the same question. Do you think Floyd should let it go 12? Should this be, this guy has no experience, he's 0-0, get him out of there as soon as possible and show the world he doesn't deserve to share the ring with you?
I would definitely say end it early. We don't get paid for overtime. And this guy, I mean, don't get me wrong, Conor, I believe he actually believes he can win, so he's going to come willing to fight, ready to fight. But if I was Floyd, if I was Floyd, I would go ahead and put him out of his misery early, just to let him know that this is a whole different animal, just like that mixed martial arts is. I wouldn't go to mixed martial arts and expect to be able to outkick or grapple some of these dudes, but being that he wants to come to this playing field, introduce him properly by executing them early.
Now, Lainez, you obviously know Floyd better than us, but as a commentator, we watch him fight, and we know that he takes the first couple of rounds to break his opponent down. But as a guy that wants to get rich, I want to dump money on first round knockout. But that's not really in Floyd's DNA, right? I mean, should I wait and maybe get a mid-round knockout bet because I want to make some money like the rest of us. I mean, it makes no sense not to pick Floyd. You gotta think of a knockout and what round to really make money because I mean, there's no way Conor's winning this fight, in my opinion.
I would definitely say a mid fight knockout. Early, he could. It's in his DNA, but like you said, that's just not his get down. Floyd is just a smart boxer, smart businessman, all at the same time. So to go out there and shut him down just right off the bat, nah, I think he wants to have a little fun with it and then seal the deal. So if I was to give advice on betting, which I don't do, I would definitely say somewhere mid fight. To bet the 12 would be insane, but mid 5, between 5 and 7, I would say that would be a safe bet.
I like that. If it goes 12, it's insane. Listen, I want to thank you again for your time. You've been great. We're definitely going to be tuned in. Our guy, Sean Zattel, which I'm sure you're familiar with him. Tall, handsome white guy with long hair, always in the TMT gym. He'll be live at your fight, man. We want to thank you again. Give us any social media for fans that don't know and are not following can do so at this time.
Okay, and just to thank you, I would like to thank y'all for having me as well. And on Instagram, you can follow me at KO Bellows, KOBELLOWS. And on Facebook and Twitter, it's at Lainez Bellows, LANELLBELLOWS, man. And I just appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate anybody that starts following me and riding with me on this journey to the top. And just buckle your seatbelts. We on our way.
Lainez, get that knockout, baby. We'll be watching. Want to thank you once again. Monster Piece, wonderful job. We're going back out to these callers. We have, who do we got? We got
Jose.
to the doctor. Who?
Jose.
Is it Canadian?
Yes.
Is it the guy that's going to lose to Enrique?
Is it Don King? Yes.
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rosé, getting money like Jose, chain code Norway, shorty wants that foreplay, I'm like, no way, gotta rock it like Coldplay, killing it, getting cheese like Green Bay, call me Aaron Rodgers, hopped out that Dodger.
Yo, boy. We got to change that song. I got to talk to Dollar DiBiase. Instead of killing it OJ, it's going to be killing it Enrique. It still rhymes, still sounds good. But man, I got a story to tell you guys in Patreon TBV overtime, man. I went to a sparring session yesterday with some pros, and holy shit, I got a story. But I'll leave that for the exclusive club guys only. I just wanted to talk, man, just about the fight doctor, man. Damn, I love listening to that guy. He's so entertaining. He's absolutely right, man. There's something in the Kovalev camp that just doesn't make sense. The first camp, he overworked and he lost. The second camp, he's just overpsyched, man. He's just mentally not there, man. Something's just off with the guy, I don't know if you guys heard how we talked about how, John David Jackson's only good for pads and he doesn't listen to him and he's going to win this fight on his own. So, I mean, I don't think that's advantageous for you going into a fight of this magnitude and not trusting your main corner, man, right? So something quite doesn't add up in that camp. It could be a series of things, but it would make sense what everyone's saying, man. Just Kovalev, maybe doesn't respect the man for one or another reason. Who knows? But I predict Andre Ward to win this fight, and I'd love to see Andre Ward against Adonis Stevenson, man. That'd be a great fight. It's too bad this fight's not getting the shine it deserves. There's just too many fights going on, guys. There's way too many fights going on, and it's going to be an amazing fight, though. No doubt about it. I think every fan should watch. I think you should pay for this fight. You should absolutely pay for this fight. This is legitimately the best fight, pound for pound, that any other fight's going on in the year, man. It's even better than Canelo Triple G because it's a more equal fight. So I don't know. I think if you're doubting it, you shouldn't, because this is far better than any other fight that you guys are going to see for the rest of the year. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I'll save my my boomerang for later on in the overtime show. And don't forget to remind me to tell you guys about this story. You guys are gonna want to hear it. All right, guys. Peace. Keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
Jose, as always, brother, thank you for calling in. Matt. Yes.
We got another ringer.
We have to get the monster. She's actually ready.
Of course.
And then we'll get to that ringer. Where is monster? And then I think we need to kick it into drive-by because it's 9:17 and we have so many callers. So can we get to everyone in time? I don't know. So we might have to consider that to keep everyone happy.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
Hello, everyone tuning in tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're definitely working hard here at TVV to bring you great interviews. So I'm glad you enjoy Lederman, and I hope that you enjoy Bellows, is it, Ness? I keep saying his last name wrong.
Bellows. Lainez Bellows. Lainez Bellows.
Yeah, Lainez Bellows. Well, it's for a great interview, so I'm really I'm happy those worked out. Moving on to these fights, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Conor and Mayweather. I've been on social media and I'm really excited about this fight. I just feel like it's taken away from the word Kovalev. It's taken away from actual real boxing. Mayweather, once he changed his name to money, he made it extremely clear what was his goal in the sport of boxing. I don't think Max Kellerman has said this many times. And, Mayweather is not concerned about legacy. He's not concerned about being the greatest fighter. He is more concerned about being the greatest businessman that this sport ever had. And I commend him for that. And I think he's TBE for that and for that alone. So this fight will most likely make a lot of money. This fight was going to happen, whether this fight was going to be on UFC or whether this fight was going to be with boxing, it was going to make a lot of money. But I think Mayweather is the bigger draw in this fight, and I think he knew that, and that's why he made it in his favor to make a fight like this and choosing particularly boxing, because he knows McGregor will follow his ego anywhere. But Mayweather is smarter, and he knows how to take advantage of the opportunity and how to make things his way so that he could look good. And he has done that many times in his career. This is not the first time. But whatever, he's making a lot of money. You can't hate the guy for making his bread, and God bless him. And I'm gonna stream that fight definitely on my Cody. So that's the only thing I'm excited about. It. I'm not paying for it. The Ward Kovalev fight. I picked Ward the first time, and a lot of people at the chat, Bruce and some of them, think that I am hating on Ward because I felt like Kovalev won. But two things happened that night. You have the Kovalev fans watching one thing and the Ward fans watching another. That right there was the only real fact that we got from that fight. Besides that, nobody really honestly know who won or who lost. You got the Kovalev fans watching something, you got the Warriors fan watching something, and everything else is just subjective. The second time around, guess what? Put me down, I'm picking Ward again. I honestly do believe Ward is a better fighter than Kovalev in some areas, and I do think that if Kovalev couldn't take him out the first time, I don't think he's going to do it the second time. Or at least I feel like he's going to go in there with that in mind, as some of the callers have been saying, just for that desperation or anger or whatever. And it might not be in his favor, or it might. Who knows? But it might. I have a feeling that it won't be in this time around. And I think Ward would definitely win that fight, the second time, just based on the fact that he's just a little bit more trickier. He's a little bit more of a complicated fighter, and he's going to find a way to win no matter what. And I always appreciate a fighter that can do that. So I'm picking Ward the second time around, although I am not sleeping in Kovalev and never will. But I don't know. I just feel like the second time around, Roy got this again. Anyways, that's my call for tonight, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Maybe on overtime. I'm off tomorrow. So,
all right, Monster. We did enjoy you the last time out on overtime. Always good to have you there. So look forward to that. Yes, sir.
Dempsey, the ringer.
Bring him on.
What's up, guys? What's up, Matt? What's up, Nez?
What's up, brother?
Doing good, doing good. I'm excited for this weekend, fellas. We got another rematch. We got a rematch upon us. Kovalev, Ward, man, you got half people out there thinking Kovalev won, another half out there thinking Ward won. Myself, personally, I thought Ward won the first fight at 114, 113. I had it the same way the judges had it. Although I will admit the 10th round I gave to Kovalev, but any round that I could give to Ward outside of that, I gave to him. And then there was 7 rounds max. But, the intriguing thing about this fight is that a lot of people are talking about how Ward's got to outbox him and, use the jab, stay outside. His jab is very effective and his left hand is very effective. But if he stays outside for too long of a time, Kovalev might have the advantage because if you watch the first fight again, when it came on the outside, fighting, using that distance, using that reach, and using that jab, Kovalev was doing a little bit better of a job. But anytime Andre was able to negate that outside distance and come inside within the realm in the pocket where he needed to be, then that's when he would start taking over, and he made it very uncomfortable for Kovalev. And I think in the rematch, I do believe that Ward is going to go back to making it rough. I think he's going to be in his chest for as long as he can be all night, if possible. And I do believe that he is going to take a decision. And I believe it is going to be a fight where he'll win, and he will win more convincingly, but I don't expect it to be easy. If Kovalev can manage to keep him on the outside and capture him on the end of his punches, then Ward's in trouble. Ward is in trouble, without fucking question. But with all that being said, I got Ward as my pick by decision. And then, all the news about the Mayweather-McGregor stuff, I mean, everybody has said what they said. I mean, it's happening. Props to McGregor for making his money. I mean, that's all he ever cared about, and Floyd too. I mean, Floyd's at that stage in his career. And this circus sideshow act that he's doing. It's not like nothing like this has ever been done in boxing before. Matt tweeted out the Ali and Inoki, and you had the Andre the Giant and Chuck Webner below that, so this ain't the first time something like this happened. Hell, Ali boxed Lyle Zato in an exhibition in '79. Fuck it. I mean, shit. It could go on and on. But the bottom line is this: is that they're gonna make their money. People are gonna tune in. I won't, because I'm going to a wedding that weekend. So lucky me. But I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and Floyd will win. And that ends my call.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Let me see here. We got to get to LA Zone, Santiago.
Hey, guys. So I'm going to keep this quick because, A, I'm not home, and B, my phone's almost dead listening to the show. Kudos to them putting Broner Garcia in the Barclays. Me, man, casual talked about that, how it makes sense that was where you should put the fight. Thank God. Hopefully they listen in more to you guys and to us and basically realize where the fights make more sense for us, the fans. And then secondly, for the Ward Kovalev II rematch, obviously with all the mind games that have been played, all the shit that's been said, a lot of people are going to feel that Andre Ward getting into Sergey Kovalev's head, he's going to be sloppy, he's not going to fight his fight, and it's going to make it an easier fight for Andre Ward. But I'm still picking Kovalev because I feel like Kovalev is still a disciplined fighter, and I feel that he won't let himself get baited too much into the mind games. He might get reckless, but I don't think he'll get too reckless.
Well, all right, Santiago, thanks for calling in. Charge up that phone, baby. TBV Overtime coming soon. Let's get on out to your buddy.
Drive by.
Damn. You gonna do that to your mans?
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, you know it ain't no show without Info Joe. Yo, let me say this. I don't know if I'll be able to call in Sunday, so I want to say shout out to all the fathers raising kings and queens, not whores and dope fiends. So all the listeners out there, you all have a happy Father's Day weekend. Make sure the wife, the girlfriend takes you out and have a good time. Now let's talk some boxing. Put me down for Rigo, and I got to go with my guy, the pound for pound, the Cali King, SOG Ward. I'm going with a unanimous decision. I don't think nobody's getting knocked out in this fight. I see Kovalev coming on strong, and Ward is going to have to weather the storm, and he's going to pull away towards the end of the fight like he did this time. I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it's going to start from round 13. It's not going to be a fill-out round. That's it. Is that it? Anything else? Mayweather, McGregor.
Cut it.
You got a minute. Drive by.
Well, Larry, go.
Hey, what's up? Big up to the boxing voice. Actually can't talk. I'll be on the house right now, but love y'all and catch y'all next time.
All right, Larry, short and sweet. Jack in Indiana, talk to us.
Hey, Ness, I'm just, I took Kovalev in last fight, and I thought that he won that one. And so my prediction, I do think that Ward will take this one basically off of, I think when he fights a guy second time, he's pretty much got him figured out, don't you think? So basically, I think he takes it maybe 8-4 in the rounds, but maybe I would not rule out Kovalev getting DQ'd. You still there?
Yeah, we're here. Now, how exactly would he get DQ'd? Low blows, behind the head? What exactly is the infraction?
Either or, honestly. I see him, he seems real kind of crazy. Like in this build-up, he seems like, wants to really, really hurt Ward. And I think one of the callers earlier said he thinks it'd be a dirty fight. I agree. So, I mean, I could see him getting DQ'd in later rounds, getting frustrated.
Cut it. Jack, I know you're pretty relatively new in terms of calling in, but when we get to the late portion of the show, we are on drive-by mode. So as I tell all our callers,
it's just one of them days. Don't take it personal.
let's go out from Indiana to Chicago. John, talk to us.
What's happening, fellas? Got a couple of quick points real quick. You earlier were talking about why the fight's not that accepted and why it's not a big fight. Simple. Rock Nation sucks. They don't know what they're doing in boxing. Kathy Duva stepped back. If this fight was promoted by PBC, Top Rank, Golden Boy, it'd be much bigger. And also, if Kovalev was American, he'd be a huge star. Ward is polarizing. He's not a star. He never will be. I had Kovalev 116, 111 in the first fight. Kovalev wins by KO, 8 rounds. I think the fight doctor he called in, he made a great point. But for my point, holding and hitting does not count. Ward is a grappler. He's very overrated as a boxer. He's a billy goat. He comes in head first. He's looking at the mat when he comes in. So you know there's no technique to his inside game as he's cutting. Cut
it. Great point, John, about the clinching and hitting and how fight doctor saying that made no sense just because it bounces back on Ward.
Like I know, you should lie low. I used to get it in Ohio.
Man, that last dude was sounding so
stupid, man. I can't even waste my minute on that. But anyways, man, Ward is my dude, obviously, but Kovalev's going to win this rematch. Ward got outboxed the first 6 rounds. He got beat in his own game the first 6 rounds. And I think Kovalev's going to be slightly better conditioned, not as nervous. And I think he's going to slow up, punish Andre Ward and get this dub. Unfortunately, even though I want my dude Ward to win. Everybody who picked Ward, I want to make sure y'all get that crow on Sunday. I'm out.
Well, all right, Jay Will, thanks for calling in all the way in Ohio. Let's go out to Jay in Orlando. What's up, Jay?
Yo, I'm rolling with Ward this weekend. I think that if it is not a close fight at all, Kovalev definitely probably going to get disqualified. If you look at him already, you can see that his head's not in it. Earlier when you guys were talking about the money, Kovalev's only getting pay-per-view and ticket money. So I wouldn't. That's something I definitely would not want because I don't see it being a lot of ticket sales and I don't see a lot of pay-per-view. Matt, when you were talking about Wilder being a Rastafarian, he is not Rastafarian, but he is influenced by Rastafarian, but he's definitely not Rastafarian. He is actually Nigerian, which is kind of cool if you think about it whenever he fights AJ, because they're both Nigerian descent. Floyd will never fight Canelo again. You need to get that out your head, and that's all I got, man.
All right, Jay. Interesting. Hopefully you join us on Overtime. I'd like to pick your brain a little bit about why wouldn't Floyd take the Canelo fight, especially if Canelo beats Triple G. Like, that's huge. Shandu, what's up? Damn, we were supposed to get back to you. Shandu.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What up?
I'm here.
You're here?
It's good. It's good. Yeah, I'm still training. I'm still doing what I gotta do. I'm taking care of the wife and all that. Trying to fit everything in. But as far as the fight, man, it's gonna be a good one. I don't see Kovalev doing what he did the first time, and I see Ward winning the second fight. Simple fact that he knows what's coming to him, and if Kovalev is gonna go in there and try to take his head off, he's gonna lose in the fight like he did the first time. So yeah, that's my pick.
Shandu, definitely join us on Overtime, brother. Sorry, we didn't remember to get back to you. Young Sal. Actually, Sal, Young Mike.
Yeah, what's good with you guys, man? Make my picks real quick. I got Ward and I got Rigondeaux. I'm not even gonna waste my time on the Floyd and Conor thing. I'll just stick to Ward. I just feel that Ward, I mean, I know he hasn't been as consistent, but I mean, you can't doubt what he has on his resume. I just feel like he's gonna adapt. He's gonna look at what he did wrong in the first fight. I felt like he won, but what he did do wrong, what he did get caught in, and he's gonna change it up and should be a dominating fight. Kovalev looks like he's gonna get too frustrated. He's already frustrated, walking off like a little bitch and shit. But I got Ward, bro.
All right, Sal, thanks for calling in. Let me go back out to Skype, see if Marty Sway is ready. Marty Sway, are you ready?
Yeah.
Talk to us, brother.
Yeah, I'm just going to make my pick because then I'll call back for the overtime on Patreon. I'm picking Ward and I got Rigo. Peace.
All right, brother. Let me see. We got Gabe in Salt Lake City. Talk to us.
Yo, what's going on? I think Kovalev needs to win with all the shit he's been talking about ending Ward's career. I think this fight is going to be, if it was on HBO, it would do similar numbers to the Stevenson fight. I hope the winner tries to make that fight next. Also on the Floyd Conor fight, who would be the broadcasting team? I would want Joe Rogan in there just because I fucking love Joe Rogan, and take out Morrow. So it'd be Joe Rogan, Bernstein, and Paulie calling the fight. What do you guys think on that? And last question for Matt. Matt, do you think this fight would happen if I think their names are Ferretti brothers, the original UFC owners, were still the owners? Would this fight happen? I just don't think it would. I don't think Dana White really wanted this fight to happen. That's my call, TBD. I'll probably call back during overtime. Right.
To answer your question, I absolutely agree with your point. I think if Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta were still the primary owners of the UFC, this would not be happening because they have zero history of co-promotion in their over decade plus tenure as the UFC owners, even though they were not the original owners, just to correct that lifetime fact.
Just don't forget that Matty Boy also said this wouldn't happen. I'm just saying.
You're gonna hold that against me forever, huh?
Forever, ever. Ishmael in Sacktown.
Hater.
Ishmael in Sacktown, Europe.
TBV, what's happening? It's been a minute. Make it quick. I got Ward over Kovalev in a continuation of the last 6 or 7 rounds of the first fight. I got Rigo over Flores with a lot of pressure on Rigo to become more quote unquote exciting, so he can get some bigger fights. Outside of that, man, the Mayweather McGregor thing, man, big news. It sucked the air out of everything, man. They announced it during this Ward Kovalev fight week, took some air out of that. It's on the same day as the Cotto Kamagai fight, so that they might as well reschedule that or cancel it or something. And then the build up to the Mayweather McGregor fight, taking a lot of air out of the Canelo Triple G joint. And as a preview of Mayweather McGregor, I think everybody should go back and watch Floyd versus Arturo Gatti, because that's exactly what's going to happen on August 26th. And just a quick note for the joke fight or whatever. Okay.
Ishmael, join us on Overtime if you're a Patreon. We're going out to CT in Connecticut. Go for it.
Hey, what's going on, Ness? How you doing, Matt? I'm going with Ward. I think he definitely has a psychological edge going into this fight. And it's, he made the adjustments, and I think Kovalev is going to try for a knockout, and it's going to end up going against him. I think he's going to fight totally out of character and try to swing all wild and try to get Ward out. Ward's going to fight more poised and more smart. I got Ward by unanimous decision.
CT, is the Stevenson fight versus the winner bigger than this fight?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for calling in, my friend. We're going to Antonio in Albany.
Yo, what's going on, man?
What up?
Real quick, put me down off the bat. Conor McGregor, KO in 1. He's going to beat Floyd.
He's going to beat Floyd?
Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. Hell no, never that.
I was about to say.
Nah, man, no, real talk though. This fight is really a circus fight, man. We all know deep down in our hearts, man, this is a money fight. Mayweather is taking it easy, coming to 154. He might not even come back after this fight. I don't even know. I mean, he ain't gonna fight Canelo. Canelo at this point is getting better, and after beating Triple G, he's gonna get even better. Floyd don't want that work. And then I got this fucking Mikey Garcia Broner. Yo, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Broner is undefeated at 140. Mikey Garcia coming up from 135 to 140. He's not gonna be Broner. He's gonna be much bigger, much powerful. And I feel like if Garcia loses, he can go back down and have a big fight.
Cut it.
Yeah, I mean, if he loses, he still has that title at 135, and then it just puts Broner back in everyone's radar. Panchito Papi in Phoenix, talk to us.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I got Mayweather in a 12-round unanimous decision, man. He ain't knocked no one out for a while, so I'm agreeing with Matt. He ain't gonna knock out Conor McGregor, but he's gonna pity pat. He's gonna do that Robert Guerrero show, the Canelo show. And I got Kovalev, man. Put me down as Kovalev. And Ward wins, I'll eat my crow, man. And I got Garcia, Rigondeaux, and I'll hit you guys up on overtime. Thank you.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Let me get out to who do we got here? We got we went to Jose, right? We got Ali and Dago.
What's good, yo? I got Andre.
Thank God that niggas seen another day.
For sure. I got Andre Ward winning 8 rounds to 4. And I feel anybody with any sense, and I would expect more from Matt, that everybody should know McGregor's not going 12 rounds. This is his first fight as a pro boxer, and he's fighting the most elite, skillful boxer out there. He's going to be getting hit to the body, to the face. Even if Floyd don't knock him out, he's going to quit because he's never been in a 12-round fight, man. This is common sense, man. MMA and boxing are two different things, and that's my call.
I never said, not that you said it, but just to correct the record, I never said that this fight, Mayweather-McGregor, is going 12 rounds. If you go back and listen to the tape, I said 8 to 10 round TKO for Mayweather, just to put that, to bed.
Yeah. Matt said this wouldn't happen.
I knew you were gonna say that. Cue the snarky remark.
Florida.
What up, guys? So,
what up?
The Conor and Floyd fight, man. The best part about this is going to be the part that it's free, because they're both going to just talk so much great shit against each other. That's going to be the best part. We all know. Every boxing guy on the damn show knows that Floyd's going to whitewash him. It's not even going to be close. But the best part's he's going to get underneath Floyd's skin, but like no one ever did before, which is going to be really good. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I got Ward beating Kovalev decision.
Steve, thanks for calling in. Steve, stay close to the show, brother. You're in Florida, man. We want to definitely hook up when we're down there in Border Wars if you have the time. We obviously want to meet as many of our listeners as possible. We're going to go from Florida to Atlanta. We're still on drive-by, but we're keeping it moving.
I told y'all a long time ago, the Kirkland will go down in 3 rounds.
Strap me up. Next, I got milk, baby.
All right. Ward, Kovalev. One of the camps is lying. They're both pointing the finger at each other. If I had to guess, I would say it's John David Jackson. Verge said that he's going to show something at the press conference tomorrow. So I want to see what that's going to be. Second, Conor McGregor Mayweather. Mayweather's going to let him get about 4 or 5 rounds in the bag. Going to make it look like a competitive fight, and they're going to do a rematch. That's my call. I'm out.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Milkman, we're going out to Texas to Class Inbound. What's up, brother?
Yo. Hey, so real quickly, first of all, I got Ward over Kovalev. One of the callers who talked about the fight, the way it went last time was right. Whenever it was on the outside, Kovalev's jab was much more authoritative than Ward's. Ward isn't as quick as he was at 168. His hand speed wasn't as smooth as I'd like it to have been. But I think Ward's going to do exactly what he did in the second half of the fight. He's going to make it ugly. He's going to get inside, and he's going to try hitting those body shots on Kovalev, frustrate him. And I think it goes to a 7-5 decision in favor of Ward, but it'll be tough because Kovalev is going to come in strong. I think his stamina is going to be a bit better, but I don't think Ward's going to try to fight on the outside as much. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, real quickly. Pacquiao and Mayweather need to leave the sport because this is absolutely ridiculous. Pacquiao's fighting Jeff Horn. Mayweather's fighting a guy who hasn't had one pro boxing match. Can we move on to the next generation of fighters like Keith Thurman, Canelo, Errol Spence, Gennady Golovkin, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, like people who are actually fighting relevant fights? Like, I'd like that to be like the mainstay for boxing, but it is what it is. But that's my call.
Cut it.
Class Inbound, thanks for calling in. Let me get on out to on Skype. We got Alexander.
Yo, what's good? You hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. What's up?
All right, I'm going to say just real quick, Ward going to KO Kovalev. But let me put some quick verbal down on that Mayweather-McGregor fight. At the end of the day, there's 3 rules in boxing. You hit, you don't get hit, and you get paid. Floyd has encapsulated that with McGregor fight. Going to make about 100 million to shoulder roll the shit out of that boy. Man down.
All right, Alexander. Well, thanks for calling in. Keeping it short. Who do we got? We got Marcus in D.C. Talk to us.
Yo, real quick, man. Everybody keeps saying that Kovalev is upset it's going to be a dirtier fight, but that's not the word I would use. I think it's going to be a more brutal fight. I got Kovalev with a late stoppage by some type of damage to Ward where he has to stop or get stopped by the doctors. Floyd, smart as fuck as always, couldn't make the weight coming back from retirement against Marquez. So he does it at 54. Two things. One, if McGregor does have a puncher's chance, he has to wear 10-ounce glove at 54 and now the 8-ounce glove at 147. Smart on Floyd. Rigo wants to be big. Tell him to go over fight 126, fight Frampton in England, get the English population on his side and get the mans, and then maybe he can get some bigger fights, man. I'll holler at y'all, Playboy. I'm out.
Marcus in DC, thank you for calling in. Real quick, I want to give our June Patreon supporters, new supporters, shout outs real quick to Paul Feinberg, my boy Fight Fan Franco, aka the Counter Punch Coleman. Shout out to James Whitaker, D Brown. Shout out to Eric Cruz that pledged up. Shout out to All Day Dre that pledged up. Daniel Kelly, Dan Johnson, Timothy, Chris. I don't want to ruin this name. Costan. I don't know.
Jeffrey.
Who? Oh, Jeffrey. Shit. Jeffrey might have just took me off of a very difficult page that I had set up. But whatever. It's Chris. Let's see. Damn, that really fucked up the list. We're going to have to go to a call. I'm going to recreate the list because of Matt and his great ideas. Well, we'll get to Young Tigre in San Antonio. What up?
Big Ness, what's up, my man? First off, man, I want to shout out that boy Mario Barrios, man, from San Antonio, Texas. You know how we bang him out here, boy.
Yeah, he did good the other night, man.
He looks sharp, my man. He looks sharp. I don't know, man. I got Ward on the rematch. It's going to be a tough one. I think he'll pull it through. And then, you know, it's easy work for Floyd, baby. Big Ness, I'm out, my man. I'm out.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We did a live fight chat for that Barrios fight, man. He was looking like a young Ward in there, the way that he was using that left arm. But we were on All Day Dre, who pledged up, Daniel Kelly, Dan Johnson, Timothy, Chris, Antonio Velasquez, Ivan Diaz, Cut West even pledged up, Frank Sparetti, Felix 310, Rob Witherall has become like we talk every morning, he and I. We're awake at the same time, but he's from the UK, so he's always up. Shout out to Jose Silva Jr. I don't know. Is that one of your MMA guys or something, Matt?
No.
Robert Stewart, Robert Ortiz, the Hipster's biggest fan. Also, 6 Owens, Alonzo Castandena, Carl Mickelson, Ian Brennan, Dwayne Antonio Brock, Russell Josine, Carlos Pena, Christopher Alterman, Santos Torres, Denzel Shelby, Cesar Hernandez, Eddie P, Klassenbaum, Panchito Papi. Yo, Rob Brandt, the boxer. That's amazing right there. Dakota Clark actually deleted. Oh, shit. Fuck.
RIP.
RIP Dakota Clark. RIP Will. Boxing Fan Apparel. Shout out to Boxing Fan Enrique Church. Signed up to the Patreon. Ashley Lewis. Shout out to the female. 48% strong. See what I'm saying?
Well,
Jose Perez.
Assuming that's a female.
Hmm?
Why are you assuming it's a female?
By the name and the avatar, I guess.
I mean,
I'm lying. I want to be right so bad that I'm lying, saying that there's a woman in the avatar when there really isn't. I'm just sorry. I'm just a liar. I don't want to be wrong.
Theophane in disguise. I mean, come on.
It could be Ashley Theophane.
Yeah, it could be Ashley Theophane.
All right. Well, Jose Perez. R.I.P. You started that for everybody who deletes now. R.I.P. to Duenas. Oh man, Duenas, what happened, bro? Fuck. Troy Bishop, shout out. Jerome Wolf, aka the special feature.
Good name.
I like that. I like that. What else? That's it, brother. That's it for June. We want to thank everyone that definitely showed their support by signing up to the Patreon, and hopefully you're enjoying all that exclusive content. Don't be one of the few left out. Be part of the chosen one that receives that inbox letting you know for that exclusive place to come talk boxing. I mean, we're doing a lot of spontaneous shows, and that is your all access pass. But once again, thank everyone that joined up to our Patreon, supporting the movement and believing in TBV. We're going out to actually one of one of the supporters who pledged up, Cut West. What's going on, my friend? Always in the chat, rarely calls in. What's up?
Hello. I got Rigo, Ward, Floyd, Garcia. Masterpiece. That's my call. Now shut up.
Yo, Cut West always got a beef with someone in the chat. Joey in Indiana. What up?
How you guys doing, man?
All right.
Good. All right, Ness. I'm gonna go with Ward, man. I think this is gonna be the beginning of the end for Crusher. I see it, man. I think Ward's gonna pick him apart and get him by decision. But it just, after that press conference, man, the dude just looked like he's about to just lose it. And then as far as the Mayweather McGregor, man, you know me, man. I'm a big wrestling fan. This is like WrestleMania for me, man. So I have no problem with it. I'm just glad that I'm kind of glad, man, because I was hating on Floyd big time, and it's just cool. It's just cool to see a boxer outdo his old promoters like Bob Arum and and Golden Boy. So I'm kind of I'm excited, man, because them guys, all they do is throw salt on this dude, and that's why I kind of had to fall back from talking boxing, man, because the negativity is getting to me, bro. I had to fall back because it started taking away my love for the fight, because all everybody do, especially you on Twitter,
cut it. Shit, Joey. You know overtime is coming up. You know how to check your inbox, baby. Hurricane Ray in Miami, talk to me.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Voice? It's been a minute. Yeah, I got Kovalev by decision. Yo, I want to talk to is Matt there?
Of course.
The Hipster?
Yes.
Yo, what's up, Matt? Yo, you're looking a lot slicker, boy. I've been observing you. Man, just a little tip, man. Keep your left hand up and don't paw with it that much, man. Take it out there. I got Rigo. And what about this? What about after Rigo wins this fight? Yo, man, we should be calling him out and having him step up, move up in weight class, man. It's about time he want to call people out, saying people ducking him, but he needs to move up, man. Everybody else moving up. That's what greatness is about. Yo, so catch y'all later. Boxing Voice.
Hurricane Ray, thanks for calling in. Sound like you're on the treadmill, man. I love it, brother. I love it when people are, staying in shape and listening to TBV, man. It's always awesome to have a good, long podcast while you're getting your run in. We're going out to Gary in Dallas. Fucking Canelo and Triple G dropped the ball. We were supposed to be out there with you, bro, in Dallas.
RIP to Dallas.
What up? Yeah, you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. I'm going to take Ward. Listen to what I'm saying. 116, 112, and 117, 111 twice. Ward picks him apart, wins an easy decision. It's not close. I want to take Rigondeaux by knockout. I think he stops him late. In the 10th round, he gets him to quit on a stool. And did I hear that right? The Canelo fight's coming to Dallas?
No, I said it's supposed to be in Dallas, where we could have been hooking up with you, but that shit is in Vegas.
Oh, it is in Vegas. Oh, all right. That's disappointing. And what else were we talking about today?
Broner Garcia's in
Ward fight.
Barclays. Rigondeaux's on the undercard. David Haye being fined. Mayweather McGregor, August 26th.
I don't want to talk about Mayweather McGregor and Mikey Garcia and Broner's in Brooklyn.
It is.
I'll take Garcia by knockout, maybe 8th or 9th round. I don't even think Broner's in that class. I think Mikey Garcia is top 3 fighter in the world.
Cut it.
Gary, join us on Overtime if you're a Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been your Ward Kovalev preview. I'm picking Ward. If you haven't heard it in the beginning, yes, you should be entertained. If you haven't heard it in the beginning of the show, I'm picking Ward. Rigondeaux. I'm going to hold off on my pick. A lot of people calling in today making their pick on Mayweather and their pick on Mikey and Broner. I'm not ready for that. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. We have about 3 minutes left on the live feed. Once again, I want to thank everyone that continues to make this show great. Monster Piece, Matt, Steven Calderon, somewhere on the open road after graduating, is just driving.
R.I.P. to Steven.
R.I.P. to Steven Calderoni. Shout out to Shandu putting in the work. Hopefully we see you Wednesday in sparring. We got another quick
90 seconds.
We got you, Elizabeth. We got a new that's Jeffrey's wife, by the way. Raymond Valero just signed up. So shout out to Raymond Valero for pledging. He's going to be joining us on Overtime, it looks like, Matt. But like I was saying, I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NesGTO. Definitely follow The Boxing Voice on Twitter and Instagram at The Boxing Voice to stay up to date because, you know, you get those notifications. You want to know when we're going live, especially you Patreons. Make sure you're checking your inbox on Patreon. Make sure that you download that application for Patreon on both Android and iPhone so you get those notifications when me and the Hipster go live. I've been going live in the morning while the Hipster's sleeping, still dreaming about Bud. But anyway, talk to him.
Final thoughts. I hope we get a good fight. I hope that the saltiness of Ward Kovalev can hopefully be over with. All the hate can be done with after this fight, after Saturday. I'm Matt, the Hipster Hunter, co-host, producer. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, at Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram. My MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. We're out of here. Go to patreon.com/The Boxing Voice to check us out for TBV Overtime, starting pretty much right now.
Yo, here's a small reason why to help us reach our Patreon goals. I just got a message from Alex Lemon, the official IG master, and he has a huge piece of notebook paper with everyone's name and their pick. He's got different color highlighters, yellows, sky blues, and greens. It's hashtag Ward Kovalev. I mean, this is what we're talking about. These are the type of people that work with TBV, this enthusiastic about this sport. You know what I'm saying? Reach those goals and keep this team happy, bringing you the product that you love. Join us on Patreon for Overdrive. Peace.
Overtime.
Yeah, we're going to go overdrive on the overtime.